Hey Tanja, how are you, sweetie? Welcome to Allegedly Wednesdays, where all things said are alleged. Y'all, it's been an interesting week, hasn't it? I'm gonna give it a minute, let a few people come on in. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hey Wanda, how are you, sweetie? Um, I'm gonna do a live tomorrow for tarot class, so anybody that is in my membership, if you're in the tarot class membership, I will be going live tomorrow for tarot class. Oh, there's my Barbie baby. How are you, sweetie? Such a lady. Hey, Megan. Hey, Kiki. Oh, Jen. Hey, Serena. How are all y'all doing? Oh, my goodness. So yesterday, hey, DS Raven. Hey, TT. Yesterday, you know, I got a few readings off. The reading that I did for the projection for Nikki's next project, I had been wanting to do that for a while, so I'm glad that I actually waited. But this new project, where she's going with the sound, I think it's gonna, I think it's gonna surprise people in a really good way. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Oh, thank you, DS Raven. Hey, Demarcus Mom. Blessings to you too. You said, what's the lip? Ruby Woo. And I put, let's see, hold on. It's Ruby Woo, and I put like it's a matte gloss I put over it. I think I got it over here. Hold on one second. So, of course, here's the Ruby Woo. And let me see. I hope this can focus. This is what I put over it. I don't know if y'all can see this. But either way, what is this? Looks like Latex Love. That's what it's called. So the shiny one is the Latex Love, but it's Ruby Woo up under it. Thank you. I like the reds that have a blue undertone because my skin is red anyway. So the blue undertones pop better on me. Thank you, Netta. Thank you, Zoya. Yeah. Pumpkin spice season is popping, ain't it? Didn't I tell y'all that everybody pumpkin spice season was gonna be lit? Didn't I warn y'all? So Trina, hey. Enjoy your off day, sweetie. Says she's dropping a new song this Friday. I'm excited. Um, Here's the funny thing. I didn't even say this in the reading, but I saw it. Had certain people not antagonized her, y'all wouldn't have been getting anything until, off into next year when she was ready to drop the next project. So you got to thank people for poking the bear. You said, what are we getting into tonight? Oh, a few things. Hey, Scarlett. Hey, Kaylin. Hey, Sharika. Thank you. Okay, Xavier. Y'all. You said thank y'all for antagonizing. Yeah, that's pretty much what I saw. Had they let her be, you wouldn't have got anything until she, was ready to put up whatever she needed to put out next year because it felt like she pretty much made her commitment, with working on this because this feels like her final project. So whatever, well, final project for, I want to say like the contract. So had people have let her be, she would have just chilled until it was time to drop that last one. Hey, Central Sassy. I'm doing well. How are you, sweetie? Hey, Princess La. Y'all, there's so many things. There was something. Um, y'all let me know if y'all want me to do a light tap in or actually read into this and put this in on membership, because I didn't know if y'all would care about this or not. But I believe y'all girl Barty Gang may have bit off more than she can chew with the whole Melania thing and then the clapback with Elon Musk. And I wanted to see what the energy was between Trump and Musk towards Cardi and how that was going to affect her, because those people are very, very high up on the food chain, and that's not your average beef. Said, I'm so glad she's leaving Young Money behind. They're very unloyal. Said Sylvia, said, why you think they snubbed her for the Grammys? The same reason they do it every year. Angel, what the heck is going on with Ray J? Baby, Ray J is a deep dive. I'm gonna dig into what's going on with Ray J as a upload separate from this, because that's something that might take like maybe that might take a part, one and part two. I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot. Let's see. Let's get you out of here. You thought you were on an adult site. Hey, Queen Gigi. How are you, beautiful? So, y'all know that Janice Combs has been added to, the lawsuits with her son. Y'all want me to? We can tap into that tonight for sure. I told y'all if they want to close out the energy for that family, they got to come and pick her up. Without picking her up, the saga is never going to stop continuing. They're literally going to keep this one, and she's going to train the next generation. So if they want it to stop, they have to get her. You said D Hunter said Ray J. Hold on. Ray J is trying to hold on. I guess that's hold on to being relevant concerning Diddy. No, it's a little. It's no, it ain't a little. It's a lot deeper than that. Ray J got his own legal troubles going on, and he got some serious legal troubles going on that he's already dealing with, and it's kind of dicey for him bending corners right now. So you were on point about Nikki. Nobody, even us, the Barbs, knew that she was done with Young Money until you told us late night. I can only tell y'all what the angels let me know. I saw that she was cutting loose a lot of people that were close to her, people that were like family, people she had worked with, and that had nothing to do with, people that we see out and about, people in the algorithm rather, like other artists that, use her to kind of like, boost their numbers. So it's a tricky time for her because when you spend that much time with people and they become like family, it's hard to let go. Said Ray J is flipping G's. He's as guilty about something, I'm sure, allegedly. Baby, he got a lot. It's a lot. I see, okay, the trolls are showing up very early in attendance. Selfless Queen, hey. Selfless Queen, I already tapped into that energy for Melania and Barty. That video went up, I want to say this morning. I want to, the part that refers to her and Barty is at the end of the video. I want to say like maybe like the last 10 minutes. It's the oracle readings, the part that I did with the Panther oracles. So I will tell you this. Melania is saucy, baby. It may be a little hard for her, because English is her second language, but when she start getting you together, it's like this. That ain't no weak chick. Hey, Cashmere. You said they tried to off Ray J. Her. Yeah, well, he said it himself as well. Said I'll never forget that. It's been it's been pumpkin spice season. Yeah. Listen, yes, Scarlett. Hey, Marla Maria said I just know Cardi's team at Atlantic has to be absolutely sick of her antics. Well, what I do want to tap into as far as her and her team is the rumors and the speculations around if she's being shelved, because I've been seeing that like the last 2 days in the algorithm. And I had already been telling y'all that this is her last album with Atlantic, no matter what. She was, if she's to drop this album, I didn't see her doing anything else as far as music wise with them unless she went independent. I see her going more off into like being a personality again, TV. I think she would do really well with a reality show, something like the E Network, one of those networks that has more of a budget. I think that would be good for her to show her and her family life and to show her process behind the scenes, how she balances family and work and things like that. I think that would be interesting for her. It's probably something that she should have looked into a while ago, because people who like her brand and they like her because they like her personality. So if they like your personality, give them what they like. Said she told us out of nowhere, my jaw dropped. She said she was done with them since her Queen album. Wow. I don't know who you talking to, Po Boy Magic. I didn't get locked up at all yesterday. You got the wrong person, baby. Hey, my Nikki. You said Komika says, okay, you were answering her. Said Atlantic made such a dumb move with her. Oop. Hey, Vintage Paris Thou Anna. Said she was so wrong on what she said about the hurricane, considering people. Yeah, that was horrible. It was nothing funny about that. People lost their homes, they lost family, they lost livelihood. Like, people are still down there struggling right now, and unfortunately the budget was spent for, the allotment for the to help people in those positions. A lot of those people applied for the 750 and they still can't even get that, and that's not even going to help you to stay in a decent hotel for long. Okay, let's get you out of here. There we go. Hey, Vanny's best. You ain't seen me in the back of no cop car. That was your mama. Let's get you out of here. There we go. Said it seems Barty is not liked by powerful people. It's not even that she wasn't liked by powerful people. She doesn't have an internal compass that tells her when to turn it up and when to turn it down. Like, she will pop off on people and not think about the consequence. You can say what you want to say. That's your business, but you also have to face the consequences for what you say. So as long as you're willing to accept the consequences, then so be it. But you're talking to the president and you insulted him by trying to shade his wife. His wife didn't have anything to do with the election. She wasn't even running. And then for you to, slut shame her with the past, the history that you have, that just, that comes off real hypocritical. Thank you, Michi Williams. Said Trump supporters want botched canceled and they are boycotting the Grammys for nominate. I didn't even know that. Didn't I tell y'all MAGA is gonna make some moves this year? Whew. Cute Mallory. Just make sure your wife is a good person. The outside, you might not have this for long. You got to get along with that person outside of how they look. Said said LOL. Y'all with this Bacon Lee tickle me. Said I'm sure Bacon Lee has something to do with her being nominated. Y'all give that man way too much credit. Bacon Lee is not making those kind of moves. He's got his own award show, but he's not making those kind of moves. He's not up in that circle. Okay, Renata, hey, I'm here when you're ready, sweetie. And as far as anybody who'd like to book a personal reading with me, email me at angelkissestheoracle@gmail.com. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And I have morning and afternoon readings. I start at 9 a.m. I'm done by 6 p.m. So whenever you feel like you need a reading, email me. I'll get right back to you. So she got to go back to love and hip hop, her roots. I think that would be taking too far of a step back. Love and hip hop is no longer, where she should be. Like, if she goes back to love and hip hop, that to me, I can't speak for nobody else, but to me, that would be a huge signal that she has fallen all the way off a cliff with her career. So I wouldn't suggest that she should go back to love and hip hop. I think she should get her own reality TV show, something like on Hulu or, the E network, something like that. Something that's, a little higher up on the food chain, that feels like a Kardashian or a housewife type show. Love and hip hop would be like a free fall from grace for her at this point. Said I have family that lost everything from the hurricane. She is so ignorant to say that. Oh my gosh. My prayers are with your family because I know a lot of people are really going through some things. A lot of those hurricane survivors, they haven't even got on their feet yet. And really, like, I feel like she owes the state of Florida an apology and, South Carolina an apology for that comment. And that apology should come in the form of a free concert to help raise money for those hurricane victims. But I doubt that that'll ever happen, but it should. Angel, do you think it's something mentally wrong with Cardi? Um, I'm not a doctor, so I cannot clinically diagnose anyone. I will say this though, that she needs to get it together because at this point she's becoming her own worst enemy. And I already told y'all, I want to say, what was it, last week's live, that her bestie, he loves her dearly, but Ken Barbie cannot keep getting out here windmilling for her. It's becoming detrimental to him because she just keeps going lower and lower and lower with the behavior, and he can't keep saving her. It's going to affect how he makes money. Said, I will always feel Kamala bringing her out hurt her. Like, why her Kamala, anyone else but Barty Kamala? I think that was part of it. I really feel like Kamala is out of touch with what's really going on in the community, and she felt like if she turned it into what feels more like the BET Awards, that it would touch bases more with the urban community. And at the end of the day, everybody everybody is worried about the economy. Everybody wants to make sure that they can pay their bills, that they can feed their children, that food won't go up again, that Natural gas won't go through the roof where you can't afford to keep your house, warm when it gets cold because everything is shooting up through the roof. Like, people are more concerned with that. Entertainment is cute, but 2, 3 years from now, nobody cares about who performed at the DNC. You want to make sure that whatever happens, you've got at least a base level comfortable way of living. And she just overshot how you know um, we as a community think. To me, it felt like she really didn't think much of us when it comes to our mental dexterity, because if you really respected us intellectually, there are plenty of people that you could have gotten that are way more intelligent, people that can enunciate, people who can learn a speech, whether it's on the teleprompter or not. I mean, Kendrick Lamar is a Pulitzer Prize winner. Common, why not get people like that to come out and perform that can do a more intellectual style of entertainment, and they can give a speech that actually is, in touch with what's going on with the people and the pulse of what's out here in America. Cardi does not represent the average woman in America, whether she's Hispanic or black. I don't care how, around the way you are more concerned about how much are my groceries going to cost from one month to the next than you are about WAP. So, yeah, that to me is where she, really, really started getting people to side eye her. But overall, for America, I think where she really lost everybody is when those hurricanes happened and the people who suffered from the hurricanes couldn't get any relief, but you're still giving money to the migrants. That did it. You can't come back from that. Said Trump supporters think Nikki's a Trump supporter is funny on Twitter, and the Barbs feed into it by saying buy her album to celebrate. I mean, here's the thing. No matter who she supports, if the Trump supporters are going to rock with her, you absolutely right. Tell MAGA to buy those albums. And the way MAGA feels about a certain person who performed at the DNC, they will buy it just to spite that person. Seriously. Hey, Cass. Much love to you, too. Said, why did Jelly not put in a phone call for Henny to not have any nominations? Is he finally starting to get sick of her crap? Whoo! Didn't we tell y'all on the panel that when it starts to come down the pike, she wouldn't see it coming? This is her not seeing it coming. Remember when I started that deactivation of Shine Puffy Combs? This is her deactivation. It's starting now. They're gonna slow roll it. Hey, The Journey. You said she's not welcome here. Um, as long as you're respectful, you're welcome here. I don't mind difference of opinion, any of that. Just let's all be respectful. Um, you said Trump supporters are to stream a lot. Nikki was smart to make that song Endless Fashion using MAGA in her song. Listen, because she knows. Y'all think that their leader is petty. MAGA can be petty too, but the thing is, the MAGA, well, I won't say, you know, the ones that, make it bad. Okay, not the ones who make it bad, but most of the MAGA supporters are very high up. Okay, they're high up on the food chain when it comes to business, when it comes to, you know, law enforcement and things of that nature. So they're very, very, very good to have in your back pocket. You said she is a psychopath. Imagine stepping over 10 million hungry children in the country and never saying a thing about it when you have a massive platform. Devil worshippers in that industry. Interesting. Said, I think something is mentally wrong with that girl. Angel, how do you feel on the money that they paid the celebs, the 10 million to Bay, 5 million for Henny? Henny got 5 million and she didn't even perform a song that people could dance to. Ooh. Like I said, she underestimated the mental dexterity of the people. I'm surprised all Bay got was 10 million because from what I heard, she was paid 10,000 a minute to do her speech. So the 10 million, excuse me, she was paid $1 million a minute. Let me correct that. She was paid $1 million a minute to do her speech. So that 10 million may have just been, the I want to say like the booking fee, the fee for her rider. They're shuffling a lot of numbers. A lot of people are popping up trying to deny how much they got paid or if they got paid right now. It was really weird. They were saying that, Oprah was paid for the town hall meeting, which they say wasn't a real town hall meeting. Oprah saying she was never paid. Y'all, it's a mess. It said she was mumbling. She was a mumbling buffoon on stage. Oops. So, right, I keep thinking that she didn't address the real issues people are facing. Right. I mean, we got a lot going on, so you can't fix everything, but you can get to the bottom of the important things. The things, if you're saying that you're going to cut taxes for the middle class, does it matter if you cut the taxes for the middle class if the food and all of, the regular expenses keep going up through the roof? You cut my taxes, but now my groceries are 40% higher. Don't even matter that you cut my taxes. I'm still not seeing my money. And if you live in a disenfranchised area, then you already know it's already bad going to those supermarkets. The food is old. They putting dye on the meat so you can't tell that the meat is not fresh. It all that stuff is already overpriced. So, just think like people are getting way less now than just a few years ago. Think about 5 years ago how much your groceries cost compared to how much they cost now. That's crazy that we got such an increase in just a few years. Said, as a person with a son in Asheville, North Carolina, and living in South Carolina, she wronged us when those storms hit. And see, that's what I'm talking about, Lisa Allen. It's like the heart of America. When people saw that the hurricane survivors weren't able to get help because all they could say is, we ran out of funding. To me, I don't care what she says on that stage. People are saying well, when she gets in the White House, and it's like, sweetheart, she's already in there. She's been in there, 3.5, almost 4 years already. What do you mean when she gets in there? She's already there. So you mean to tell me that her and, President Biden couldn't sit down and rearrange something in the budget to come up with an emergency fund to help Americans who pay taxes every time they work, every time they purchase something? You couldn't come up with an emergency fund to help the people who live here? You're out of money, but you have migrants that are still getting benefits and they haven't paid one tax. They didn't put anything into the country. They don't even have to work. It's not even required for them to work. All they got to do is just kick back and receive. $10,000 to $15,000 worth of food stamps. But the people who just got affected in the hurricane can't even get a stipend to replace what they lost in their refrigerators. That's some nasty work. So, Angel, do you think this will be the last year's Jolene and Meg and Camel face getting the Grammy nominations? Um, I think that between 2025 to early 2026, there's going to be a changing of the guards because they're going to take the Camel out of the position to be over things. So 2025 is going to be the last year that you see him as a prominent figure before the other shoe starts to drop, and then they're going to start to wind him down as well. So can we get a timeline on the Henny deactivation? I'm tired of her ass. Oh God. Um, all I can tell you is once this situation with Tory picks up and they go to the appellate court, and then this case with Emilio Cucci, I got to learn that man's real name. But that case with Emilio Cucci, once they pick up steam, it's going to get really interesting out here for her, because not only are things going to come out in court, she's got some people that feel some type of way about her that want to release stuff anyway. Let me go to station head so I can start station head before I start doing any tap ins. Hey, station head. Oh, y'all in here, in here. I literally just I just clicked the button. Y'all ain't playing. Alrighty. So I'm about to go ahead and get tapped in because y'all know I will sit up here and chit chat with y'all all night. You said, is it true that Emilio hasn't been showing up for court? Um, well, allegedly, the reason why he didn't come to court for the one court date, because it was only one, is because they didn't serve him and his legal team. So they can't hold that against him if they didn't serve him. That is possibly what happened allegedly. So they're going to have to issue a new court date where they actually serve him so everyone can be held accountable for coming to court, because you can't be held accountable for coming to court if you have not properly been served. Let's see. And I want to say that wrong. I want to, how do I say that? Because it's like it's him suing her, but because they motioned to move it to a new venue, they were supposed to alert him to let him know when the court date was for the new venue. So according to his team, it's a possibility that him and his team never got the notification to go to court. So he can't be held accountable for what he didn't know about. So that's quite interesting in itself. That's an old school situation where people go to court and then you don't get the paperwork and they can, win by default if you don't show up. So this is going to be interesting anyway. I already told y'all, because this is in the Southern District of New York, it didn't work out the way they thought it would because it's supposed to be home court advantage. But y'all remember, look at what's going on right now, all the people that are actually being investigated in that same district. So I think everybody need to keep it cute and tread lightly, because this is not the time to be pulling shenanigans while everybody's getting paperwork. So I'm gonna tap in on some energy. We go ahead and get started now that we got station head going. Hey everybody, how y'all doing on station head? Which y'all want me to tap into first? And I'm not tapping into Henny because you know she think that everybody picking on her. So who else? I'm waiting to see what y'all say. You said it feels like a Friday? I already have a reading up for Winnie, and I think what you might want is in that reading. Young Money and Nikki's relationship now. Okay. Said why Cardi won't tell her fans there's no album. Um, Light tap in on Ray J. Thank you. Say hey, Miss Zoe. I appreciate that. Can you tap in on Kilani? Lord. Well, as soon as I read her name, we got sirens. What's going on with Kalani? Said why she said that her baby was her wife in her past life. Girl, what? Mm. I mean, don't get me wrong. I believe in past lives, but something about Kalani a little different. Can you tap into how Mama Tina feels? Hold on. How Mama Tina feels about the whole Jay and Diddy situation. You know what? That's interesting. I'll do that one first, y'all, because I've never got that one before. We're going to do Kalani next because I feel like I might need to, you know, do a salt dance and purify my whole entire dining room. It's something about that that don't feel right from the jump. Ooh. Said, no, the transcript for Kalani was crazy. Yeah, ooh. All righty, let's go with Celestine, better known to the public as Mama Tina. How does Mama Tina feel about the energy between her son-in-law and the diddler? Angel, spirit guides, and ancestors, put a fiery hedge of protection around me and everyone that is in this live right now or in the playback. Keep us safe from all hurt, harm, and danger, seen and unseen. Block all maleficent spirits, all trickster spirits, and any spirit that would give us false messages. Whew. Let's get you out of here. You're not gonna be in my live talking about you the devil. This is not this is not that. We don't play with him over here. You got to be the devil to put something like that in the chat when somebody praying. What is wrong with you? Alrighty, Celestine, how do you feel about son-in-law and the diddler? Okay. Well, we know she's opinionated, so are her cards. This is definitely not a wish fulfillment. You got the Nine of Cups in reverse. What's this that's face down? Oh, to the stability. So Four of Pentacles, that's the stability for generations. So she feels like this is going to cause, you know, instability towards the money and the generations. It's going to affect work. Eight of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. She looks, I'm hearing the word rhetoric. So she looks at it as rhetoric and harsh communication. Bottom of the deck, High Priestess. So that feels very guarded about some very deep seated information. Says she's a Capricorn. Of course, we love money. Yeah, she's thinking about everything that has been invested, everything that they've worked for, everything that they put into this situation. She's looking at how all of this manifested. Hey, Angel B. And it's a baby, all she looking at is the money. It's a lot of money on the line here. Shout out to Bia. It's a whole lot of money in this, okay? 10 of Pentacles. It's a lot on the line here. And she finds this as a major conflict. She's willing to fight for what she believes in and fight for what's hers. Baby, she not going to back down. She's going to come fighting when it comes to this money and the stability of the family. And here it is. You know, she feels like at the end of the day, you know, these messages that are going back and forth, especially in the media right now, the way that people are communicating, it's manifest in roadblocks. And you got the Hermit here, which also represents Virgo, okay? And this is where she's concerned, because it's like, it's one thing for you to attack him, but she's looking, now we're getting to how, you know, this is affecting her daughter. And this is like, now she's thinking about, instead of coming forward to speak, she wants to fall back. She wants to kind of stay away from the public, being more mindful about the things that she says. Y'all, she may even be finally with the idea, 8 of Cups, walking away from a situation to preserve the wealth. So she may be telling her daughter to walk away from this man to preserve her money and everything that she worked for. Yeah. You got the Judgment card, and Judgment is a card of finality. It's just like the world. Like when Judgment comes, it can bring an end of a circle. It's like a tower moment, but it's a divine tower moment, because this is being judged by God. And this falls under the 9 of Cups, which means that this is definitely not a wish fulfillment to be judged by the Most High for sure. So she knows that this is like a spiritual battle. And she wants to do whatever she has to do to get balanced through a new beginning. Temperance at the bottom of the deck. So, allegedly, because this is allegedly Wednesdays, all things that we say over here are alleged. Nobody can prove anything. We don't know these people, right? So, there could be a lot of infighting, a lot of turmoil when it comes to the money and fighting over the stability of the money, or possibly separating assets, because I feel like at this point she realizes that this harsh communication is not going to go away, and now she's worried about how this is going to affect her daughter and everything that she's invested in her daughter, everything her daughter has invested, and how this is going to affect the future of the financial wellness of her daughter and her daughter's career. Said they're in too deep. They think they can't about giving it up. Well, yeah, we got the 3 of Cups here. Okay, so so the 3 of Cups represents, you know, parties, joyful situations, gala. Also, that's like gossip. And you got the 6 of Wands. She wants to move away and leave the gossip behind. She wants to push forward, move past this, you know, communication that is attached to the diddler with these parties. She wants to get as far away from it as possible, because of, you know, everything that she has invested in all of this. And, you know, here it is. King of Wands finally shows his face at the bottom of the deck. Said it's going to still be too late, because people won't be able to unsee B as an accomplice. Interesting point. Okay, what the hell is going on with you? You're a weirdo. Let's get you out of here. There you go. Send you back to the street. So Six of Cups. Yeah, this is like everything that was invested in the past. Everything that they had going on up until now. It's like I don't want to lose everything. Once again, there's a lot on the line. There's a lot of money at stake. Um, there's something to do with some, money that's unaccounted for, Six of Pentacles, and it's a large amount of money. So when you think about, money that um, may not quite be traceable, or money that could be made under the table, because Six of Pentacles is a large amount of money, but it's unearned income. It's money that you didn't have to work for. So she lives a very comfortable life, and it's like the accoutrements with her attached to the family are definitely going to be affected if their money is affected. Yes, it is a lot of weirdos and crayon eaters here tonight. Ah, not crayons used to taste good. Y'all, what was that video they took it off of YouTube? Short but shorty. He said, I eat the red crayons because the red ones taste the best. Oh my God. Yeah, so, that's the heavy betrayal for her. Shame, remorse, guilt, depression. Y'all, she feels betrayed. And Ten of Swords under the Ten of Pentacles. Why does she feel betrayed over money? Large amount of money. What's this? Well, I know they say ain't no love lost, but this love is lost, honey. Look at this. There's the love card, Ace of Cups, and the World. End of a cycle. So she's also acknowledging how this is going to affect her daughter, with people, having this type of communication, talking about all these types of things, how this is going to affect her daughter. Okay, there we go. Get you out of here too. Yeah. So she's acknowledging that this has her daughter really, really shook, because Nine of Swords is like, not able to get any rest, deep anxiety, a lot of worry, not knowing what's to come. So she's in two minds about this, because it's like, I would like for this to pass over. I'm gonna stay quiet because the algorithm, the news cycle is like every 7 days. If we don't say anything, eventually it'll go away. But this is not going away. It seems like it's getting bigger and bigger every news cycle. Or if it skips a news cycle, when it comes the next news cycle, it keeps snowballing. It gets bigger and bigger every time somebody speaks on it. And it's getting harder to know what's the speculation and what's the truth. So when it gets like that, people, they want to know more. And it's hard to tell people that they're not going to know more, especially now that people are under investigation. So Miss Tina definitely worried about the money, but I do see that she could possibly be advising her daughter, allegedly, to go ahead, divorce, take everything she got and run for the hills, because she don't want to lose everything if it comes down to it. That somebody got to go before, one of those really high level courts. You said they can't hide from it. Hi, Dominican Butterfly. You said, I don't blame her. I'd be doing the same thing. I mean, at this point, it's really nothing else to be concerned about but, exodus and what do they call it? Evacuation plan. Because if it's not going to get better, you got to brace yourself for the worst. And it seems like that's what she's thinking about. How do we, I see in the beginning, it's like, I want to fight and defend my family, but this looks fruitless. So since it looks fruitless, let's gather everything up and do what we got to do and shake this joint. Allegedly. Said, I'm glad Jolene is not signed to RN. Her own company may not be weathering so well right now. Speaking of her own company, I'm going to do a light tap in, y'all, because I've been meaning to do this reading for a while. So expect this to come up on the channel later. But Chloe Bailey says that she's been waiting for the green light to put out her project, but she hasn't received a budget yet. So we got to think about, why are they putting Chloe on the back burner? Like, why didn't you give Chloe a budget a while ago? Said, now that same hurt that she put on her husband, now Miss Tina hold on, let me read that right. Now the same hurt that she put on her husband, now Miss Tina is feeling the pressure. They don't like it when the rabbits got to pow pow. Yeah. She may need to wait, because once the divorce, the DA can put her on the stand against him. True. But I will tell you this, if it comes down to that, Jolene ain't safe. Her husband will not fare well with her being his co-defendant. That man is very much about himself. Said, I would love to know what's going on with that Parkwood over there. Oh, I'm about to tap into it. I'm changing the deck. Do you think anything significant will happen over this full moon on Friday? Sweetheart, something significant happens every full moon. And I don't know if y'all know this or not, but I'm going to, just put you up on game. If you look at, I want to say, maybe 95% of your hit albums, they are all released on full moons. Not one constellation is misused in the industry when it comes to harvesting energy. Every star alignment, every lunar occurrence is all used to help push whatever the energy is to elevate a project. Said, I think Jolene was jealous of those two girls and signed them to shelf them. That's interesting. Said they were doing good, and since they signed, it's been plateauing downhill. Said the worst thing that Bailey's did was sign in that label. I felt sad when I saw them at that label. I knew they would be slowed. So these people in the industry really are into ritual stuff and saying, oh yeah, absolutely. Everything they do has a ritual. Y'all, that's where you really have your occult being used the most. And don't leave out a lot of these high-end politicians either. You'd be surprised the energy that is harvested to get some things done. Said that's good to hear. Nikki is releasing a song Friday. Well, see, Nikki wouldn't have to do that, because actually, here's something, that pisses them off about Nikki. Nikki is able to do organically what they go into these demonic prayer circles to do artificially. That's why they want her out the way. She can do it without bending the corners that they've, been. She literally is able to tap into a pulse and create the energy organically. Another person that does that is Chris Brown. I want to show y'all something. I don't know if y'all seen this or not. Hold on. And I thought this was interesting because for me, it's like, why in the world is the industry not talking about this? Because this is epic. Y'all see this? Chris Brown is neck and neck with Beyonce in his streams. And he's an indie. He's doing this without the help of the industry. They want him out so bad they can't take it. Look at this. Why is nobody talking about this? Why are the vlogs not even talking about this, y'all? He had to announce this himself. That's epic. He's getting those numbers as an independent. This right here proves that you don't need the majors. All you need to do is build your fan base and put out good music. You can't stop real talent. You can't do nothing with real God-given talent. I don't care how you get in those circles and bow down and call the names of demons and bring down entities upon yourself so they can go out and perform for you. None of that can stop God-given anointed talent. And see, that's what they don't want y'all to see. They don't want you to know that you don't need to give your soul to the most low to win. Because you got to think about it. The devil, I keep telling y'all, the devil is a loan shark. He don't give you nothing without taking 10 times what he gave you back. Nothing. So when you think about how these record labels work, y'all, if they can come forward and offer you $1 million signing bonus to sign you, they expect to make no less than 50 million off of you, no less. So if they come to you, it's because they know you are a money maker. You just got to be willing to put in more work and build your fan base and do the smaller shows and work your way up. Because eventually when you do that, you put more money in your own pocket, you have creative control, and you build an intimate relationship with your fan base. That's why they can't get rid of Chris, and that's why they can't get rid of Nikki. Y'all love them for real the long way. That can't be bought. I don't care what you do. You can get in a circle with a cauldron, eye nude, burn stuff, drink blood, all that weird stuff they do. And guess what? They all got an exit date. And when they exit, the devil takes it all back on the way out the door, plus whatever you thought you were coming in with. That's what we're about to see the next few years. The devil coming back to repo everything he passed out. But y'all, let's get into some things because I want to see what's going on over there down to the Parkwood, y'all. Because it makes no sense. As talented as the Bailey sisters are, that anybody would let them just sit around, either one of them, and not put anything behind them. Chloe writes music. She produces her own music. She can dance. Like, that's crazy. It made sense to let her and Normani be each other's nemesis because they would have made money to watch the both of them compete. I mean, think about it. The both of them can dance. The both of them can captivate the stage. Why wouldn't you let the both of them compete? Because that is money. That is big money. That excites people to see real talent. Said they even holding back Normani. People got to understand, when your time is up, your time is up. I don't care what type of tricks you pull. I don't care what kind of favor you think you got. When it's over, it's over. The thrill is gone. It's nothing worse than somebody that don't know when to just let the next generation have their time. It doesn't mean that you're not great at what you do. It just means it's someone else's time. And when it's their time, it doesn't put you out the pasture. You elevate to another level. Everybody can do what they do in their own lane, and that's okay. Said I saw that Cowboy Carter had 51 writers on it. I'ma just leave that alone. Said I felt B got them for the sole purposes of shelving them. I don't know if she wanted to shelve them or if she wanted to, you know, kind of siphon the energy. So, you know, if you think about it, both of these sisters are extremely, I mean, hella creative, right? The way that they sing, the octaves, the fact that they can sing opera, they can sing gospel, it's not really much that they can't do. Having those kind of people around is going to inspire you one way or the other, because that's just what it does. So maybe, you know, that's what it was. It was to inspire her, get her juices flowing, and kind of siphon some new ideas. Because why else would you sit them off to the side somewhere? Oh, thank you, Justice, for us. Once again, for personal readings, anybody wants a personal reading, please contact me at angelkissestheoracle@gmail.com. Oh, I got a new member. Hey, thank you for joining. Hey, Michaela. Welcome to the family. And you're a premium member, so you get to see not just the other readings that aren't on a regular channel, but you get to join in the tarot class and learn how to read tarot. So I'm going to be wrapping up the 78 tarot cards. I want to say no later than Friday morning. And then tomorrow afternoon, for all of you that are in membership in the premium class, I'm gonna go live, and we're gonna have our own live about spirituality and being able to cleanse and to get negative energy off of you. Some of that is a little too heavy for this regular channel, especially with the bots, y'all. I got the slow bus shorties, not even just the regular short bus shorties. So, you know, that deeper content, we'll keep that in membership, but I will touch on some of it here. You said welcome to the rabbit hole. Yes, welcome to the Rabbit Hole University. So let's see what's going on over there down to the Parkwood. Why? Let me see what y'all talking about in here. You said they have no budget to spend on that girl. I don't believe that, sweetheart. That's not that's not Brokeville over there. That they are not playing brokey. They got budget. It's just how they decide to allot it. Welcome to Station Head, Barbie. Alrighty, let's tap in, y'all. What's going on over here at Parkwood? Allegedly. Why is Chloe not? Oh, thank you. Said your nails are giving budget. Y'all know I'm extra. Why is Chloe not getting a budget for her project? Why is Chloe not getting a budget for her project? So, interesting enough, this says a lot. So, when you have the Princess of Wands, that's the energy of somebody saying that they feel that someone's not ready. Someone has more developing that they need to do. someone that's in and out, someone that needs to be more consistent. But there's something going on because it's like Chloe's intuition is telling her differently. Oh, I got another member. Who is this? Oh no, it's the same one. Either way, thank you. Y'all, this is a strong allegedly. So she may be looking at new offers, but it's like she wanted to stay loyal because it's like, hey, you brought this offer to me when I was young. I was a young girl. You know, this was one of the best things that could have happened to me. But it's like, how long is it going to be before I'm ready? Like, you can't just keep telling me I'm not ready. Thank you, Justice, for us. I didn't even know I was supposed to answer that. Out of all things, how do I cook pizza with my nails? Oh my gosh. So, judgment. Wow. Judgment is like there's a cycle closing. It's like she feels like she has her back against the wall and she's looking at making a decision on if she should possibly leave this contract. She's also side-eyeing the development and the way things are going here. Yeah, leap of faith. Now she's looking at this energy from the Fool. It's like we leaped into this. I kind of moved too fast. This is like feeling like maybe we should have waited. So it's like she's second guessing the opportunity. It's like this was supposed to be an opportunity of a lifetime, and feeling like you just keep getting spent. When I was younger, I understood you telling me I needed more development. I needed to do this. I needed to do that. I was willing to be a humble servant and trained. But how long is this supposed to go like this? Mika, I agree. I often tell artists that they shouldn't sign other artists. Hey, Nene. Welcome to welcome to the party. Welcome to the family. Thank you. I often tell artists that because an artist's main focus is always going to be themselves. When you sign to another artist and that artist still wants to compete, they are always going to want to be the best in the room. Okay? And if you look at all the artists run labels, they're the hottest on their own label. Okay, I'm going to definitely get back to that email and answer you as soon as I get off a live. Let's see, I was wondering, is that her mom not close with her anymore? Is that why her mom is not close with her anymore? I didn't know about that one. So here it is. It's like, she wants to get out here and work. She wants to collaborate, and she may be really, really considering going to work with someone else because they got budget. She's ready to make money. Wow, both girls cut their parents off. Yeah, I didn't even know that. This is the first that I'm hearing of that. Wow. So, yeah, she's trying to figure out somehow, some way, how to get balanced through a new beginning because this isn't working. She feels like she's at a mute point. It's like a stalemate. She is it's heartbreaking because this was like her dream. Like, I looked up to you. I just knew this was going to be a perfect opportunity. And it's like this is the opportunity from hell because it's not manifesting anything that I thought it was going to manifest. Songwriters won't dare send her better songs than Beyonce either. Well, she doesn't need a songwriter to write her songs. She writes and she produces her own music. And see, here's the thing. Don't put too much stock in some of these people in the industry, not all of them, but some of them, because what happens is people will put writing credits on songs where they didn't write shit. Okay? So I don't know if y'all know this, but a lot of producers have writing credits on songs where they didn't write anything. So if she goes back to like a lyricist lounge type vibe where she does like writers camps where she gets in with like up and coming writers, it may be better for her to go back to the basics because that way she can build on creativity. Sometimes it's better to go with the new people who are building their career than it is with the established people. And I'll give you a perfect example. When Aaliyah did her second album, Timberland and Missy and the whole crew over there in Virginia, they were practically unknown to the industry. They were fighting to break in. So Aaliyah working with them actually gave her that signature sound that we love so much today, that, you know, that whole vibe where you can say, hey, like you think about Try Again and, you know, just that second album on out. That sound came from her working with up and coming people that weren't established yet. So this is what it looks like may have to happen for Chloe and her sister. They may have to go back to the basics and find really talented people that haven't made a name for themselves yet. But they got real talent. You can't hold real talent back. I mean, look at Chris. Chris writes, he produces, he sings, he raps, all of the above. So when you have that kind of talent, if you're in a right situation where you can be conducive, somebody like a Chloe Bailey, honey, you can lock her in for the weekend and she gets to vibe and she'll write a whole album over the weekend because she has real talent. Somebody that can write and produce their own music, they don't need that much help. So you got Princess of Swords. So she's got to get over this energy of this like mother-daughter complex type energy between them, because it's like she feels like, you know, Beyonce is like a mother figure, so to speak, because she's older than her. But when it comes to business, y'all on this, how do I say this? It's not that they're on the same level in business, but you're both adults. You can't keep letting her son you or daughter you, okay? Because this is how she keeps you over here in the cut like a bandage and nothing is coming out. Yeah. So when it's all said and done, y'all, don't be surprised if when she leaves, it just happens out of nowhere, because it's like she's sitting on material and she can't do anything with it. And the longer she sits on this material, eventually people just get disinterested. They don't care anymore. Same thing with Normani. They took so long to put Normani's project out. A lot of people just ran out of steam waiting on it. You say they parking people at Parkwood. Ooh. I don't know how many of you have ever, you know, been in the studio and watched the creative process. Like when you're really a creative person, you'll sleep in the studio. You'll go in there, and once you catch that vibe, you'll create and create and create and create until you fall asleep. Um, Chloe's that type of creative, you know. We're talking about they're singers, they're musicians, they're writers, they're, Chloe's a producer. Like all she needs is just a chance to work with the right people. Now, what I find interesting is her having all this talent. Why don't we see her writing anything for Beyonce? Yeah. Six of Swords. Yeah, she wants to leave what she considers to be a toxic situation or environment. 10 albums. I thought I read that wrong. Who the hell would sign a 10 album deal? Baby, I would be dropping double CDs, triple CDs. I would get out of that. Ain't no way in the hell. And see, the messed up part is that deal was signed when they were young. So that means that the parents possibly signed that retarded deal. And I'm not changing my language on that because that's stupid. Not dance party with Beyonce. Oh, damn. Oh, wow. It was for $1 million. That's nothing. Y'all, do you understand the IRS comes after that $1 million and you got to pay that like 45% off of that million, and then you still got to take that million and stretch it? Lord Jesus. That was stupid. Her parents must have been on the brink of poverty. Like, why would you sign something like that? I don't care if it was Beyonce. Do you think Chloe's sex appeal might be slowing her down? Some people are not buying it. Um, I don't think it's about her sex appeal. I just think that, these are like church girls, right? So think about it. When PK kids, the church children, when you're sheltered growing up, when you finally get out and you get to move about, you want to do everything all at the same time, right? Church kids, when they get out there, they do the most. And this is what this is. That's why her overtly sexual energy just feels like it feels cringy at times, because she's, she's a good girl, so it's like it's not even that she can't be sexual, because that's a part of art for some people. It just doesn't feel like it fits her. It doesn't feel like she's actually grown into it. It feels like a young girl who's playing dress up in her mom or auntie's clothes. It's like she's not ready for that type of energy. And on top of it, it's like she doesn't need to depend on that because she's really super talented. Sex and sexuality is fine. I understand she's an adult, she's a grown woman, but you're really talented. You don't need that as a crutch. It's the cherry on top. It's not the gas in the car that gets you to where you need to go. Oh, thank you, Kimani. You said it's practically for life. Not with a super talented person, it's not, and that's why she won't give her a budget. Y'all starting to understand now? I want y'all to think about when Tupac went to prison, right? And Suge Knight paid that bail to get him out. He only asked him for a 3 album obligation. And I guess, for the average artist, who doesn't have the creative fire that Pac had, that could have been like 6 or 7 years to drop 3 albums. Pac went in the studio and he recorded enough in 1 week to drop that double CD, which means he met 2/3 of his obligation just by that first one that he dropped. He dropped the first ever double CD in the history of hip hop, and it went diamond. So when somebody has real talent, you can't box them in like that. And that, I'll say in my opinion, is why they won't get that girl a budget. Because if you give her a budget, she gonna pop out, you know, projects like Pez. Every time you look up, it's like you oversaturating the market. Oh, I'm trying to meet my obligation. You want me to do 10 albums, so I'm gonna do 2 a year. Like somebody who has talent, you can get it done. Now, it's still stupid to sign something like that. That's the dumbest contract I've heard of in a long time. Said that's what Tory did to Interscope. Right. It's talent. You can't stop somebody who can go in there and vibe out. Everything becomes music. Y'all, my grandfather, God rest his soul, he was a doctor of music. Okay. And he was in the industry a very long time as a jazz musician, almost 60 years. And he was the first one that taught me that any and everything can be music, whether it's the sound of clothes in the washer and dryer, the raindrops on the window pane. Anything can be used creatively to make music. And when you hear music that way, you can't be held back. Said it's a sixth album over the next 5 years. Beyonce gets 15% of their earnings. Listen, I'm telling you, I'd be doing writers boot camps, lock-ins. We be knocking out projects left and right, because if she signed them as a group, right, chances are it's 10 albums for them as a group effort. So hey, come on, sis. We're gonna get you some projects with you solo. We're gonna get me some projects with me solo. We're gonna put together our album with us together as a brand, and just keep popping them out. In like 5 6 years, I'd knock that obligation out. We would have Christmas albums, because think about it, y'all. Remember, artists used to always have a Christmas album every year. I'd sneak all kind of stuff in there to meet that obligation. Like, do the Christmas albums count? Okay, we're gonna have a Christmas album every year and a regular album. I'd find my damn way around it. You wouldn't have my life tied up for no 10 albums. No ma'am, no sir. So could it have been like 5 individual albums between the two? I would have to see the contract, because I didn't even know they signed anything like that. It just sounds crazy. Can Chloe work with other writers or producers if she is under contract? She probably has to work with only certain team, maybe. It depends on, like I said, it depends on what's in their contract. Because their contract will let you know if they have any creative control. If she doesn't have creative control, she has to do what Parkwood tells her to. So it couldn't be me. Y'all, I was the type of student that got threw out of detention because they said I was the distraction to the detention experience because I made it fun. I would get in there and find a way. You want a Spanish Christmas album? You want an English Christmas album? You want a twerk album? You want a gospel album? I'd be on 5 different charts. I would get my music out. Oh, I'm going to make my obligation. I don't care if the albums make 35 cents a piece. You get 15 cents out of that 35 cents. Get what you need to get so I can get out of here. Like, why would her family put her in a position, the both of them in a position to sign for 10 albums? You don't even know if you're going to be able to make that commitment, especially when you got to still build your brand, and you got to build your fan base, and then you got to hope that the fan base supports you enough so that you can make enough money to pay back the label, because it don't matter what you do until you pay them back. They're not going to release you until they get their money. What? Listen, if it's a such thing as a Halloween album, I dropped that one too. You want an Easter album? You're going to have an album that you can ride looking good on the way to church. I'd knock out 2 to 3 albums every year. Says signing them to Joanne wasn't a bright idea. I don't even think it's just about signing them to her. Signing a 10 album deal is stupid. I don't care whose damn label it is. You don't sign nothing like that. That's desperate. The fact that they saw that and was like, oh my God, yes, let me sign it. What? If she's willing to sign you to 10 albums, she knows that you're worth it. Shop your sound around. Go independent if you need to. But I'm not signing no 10 album deal. Ain't no way in the hell. Not unless I open a label and sign myself and then I go somewhere for distribution. It's no way, period. 10 albums? Oh, Jesus. I would have slapped some paper off the table. You even attempt to say something like that to me. I don't care who it is. That's why you don't put people on pedestals. Once you get into the industry, I don't care how much you look up to people, everybody becomes your rival. This is where your idols become your rivals. That girl should have been on Beyonce's tour opening for her so that she could cross market her with her fan base and get people to buy her music so that Beyonce could make her money off of her. You want her to put 10 albums out? Get some people to see her so that they can support her and buy her music. She won't even share the girl pictures, let alone her projects. So how you want her to push 10 albums? Her and her sister. How? What, baby Halo gonna be on the album? How they gonna make that obligation? We be doing everything. Kids Bop, all of it. Hey Ray, thank you. So she promotes Henny and Glow more than her own artists. See what I'm talking about? And she's supposed to be making money off of them. Said, can she sue to get out of her contract? She would have to get a hell of a lawyer. She had to get a bulldog, and it would have to be somebody that's not afraid of their influence. And then she would have to be prepared for them to try to blackball her for standing up for herself. But here's the thing. We're in the time period right now where people are tired of the shenanigans. So if she was to go independent and just do smaller shows for a while, I guarantee you she'd make more money independent. They each got 60,000. I had to take a moment because I almost cussed reading that. Said Usher did her more of a favor than Bey, and that speaks volumes. Whew. Now y'all see why it feels like she's looking at this as toxic and she's ready to move on. But I will tell y'all this. With all the legal troubles that are looming around this family, she better take this as a way out. And I mean that. She better take this as a way out. While folks are getting investigated and they trying to keep it quiet, she better get all her ducks in a row and get out. Because she definitely in the sunken place. Chloe, as much as I love Kelly Rowland, don't be the next Kelly Rowland. Get your ass out the way. And Kelly Rowland is super talented, but she's been stifled for a very long time. To me, that's the most talented member of the group, but nobody will say it outside of R. Kelly. He said it years ago. You said Beyonce don't promote herself. Well, see, Beyonce don't have to. She's got a brand. She's got the Bayhive. They follow everything she do. She could literally fart and they would try to bottle it in a cup and buy it. She don't have to move the way Chloe and them need to move. They're still building their brand. They're not where they need to be. He said, why is Kelly so loyal? You know, they got her when she was a baby. Said she's really trying to move the needle. Listen. Get out of the sunken place. Run, Chloe, run. And take your sister and Halo with you. Said, I wonder if Mr. Camel tried them and they rejected him. You said Joanna's in the sunken place. Listen, let me tell y'all something. That woman is way more in control of her facets and her capacities than y'all think she is. Now, yes, he got her young and he trained her up in the way that he wanted her to go, but don't think she's a damsel in distress by any means of the imagination. Not even a piece, not a stretch of the imagination. See, because she smiles all the time and she's calm and cute, people think that she can't get it popping. Don't underestimate her. They're Bonnie and Clyde for a reason. 10 albums. Why would your parents sign you up for indentured servitude? Because that's what that is. 10 albums? Like I said, people are facing legal troubles. It's about to get tight. Use this as your opportunity as a path to freedom. That's all I can say. Said Beyonce is a Virgo. She's no pushover. Absolutely. Absolutely. That woman's sturdy in her convictions. Don't let, just like I said with Melania, don't let the smooth taste fool you. Yeah, some of these industry parents need to face the authorities. Real talk. You said that's a Cassie deal. Cassie signed a 10 album deal too. No shade to Cassie, but Cassie don't have the talent that these sisters have. I never saw Cassie being able to meet the commitments. It's not that she couldn't get out here and do pop and do comfortable and really be out there and do what she does. But she can't out sing and out dance and outright or do any of that with the Bailey sisters. Not by any means of the stretch of the imagination. Not even close. Said Cassie can't sing or sing. Oh, damn, Terry. Said Cassie is just beautiful. Well, here's the thing. Cassie would have done really, really good in pop music. And see, in pop music, you don't have to belt out anything. You just need to be able to do what you do comfortably. So she would have been great for pop. R&B, soul, absolutely not. Hell no. Let's get you out of here. So her album was really good. She had great songs on there. Cassie gives Lumi D vocals. Now, I'm not going to say she gives Lumi D vocals. Lumi D can't sing worth a damn. The best part of the song was Uh-Oh. And that pretty much let me know where the key was going to be for the rest of the song. The whole song sound like, uh-oh, this is a mistake. That's why it was no backup song. It was no push. It was no nothing after that. Because uh-oh was as far as it can go. It should have been called oops. Y'all know good and damn well. Cassie is, she bought this, listen, I give Cassie this much over Lumi D. Lumi do, Lord, I couldn't even say her name. Lumi D had auto tunes and still couldn't get a note together. Cassie should have stayed with her first boyfriend. If she would have stayed with what's his name, the one who started her off when she did that I'm Addicted song, was it Ryan Leslie? She should have stayed with Ryan Leslie. Ryan Leslie had a cute sound for her. Like, they were a good combination. That would have kept going for her. I liked the vibe she had with Ryan Leslie. That sound was poppy, it was clubby, and it fit her. It was when she got separated from Ryan Leslie to where it got kind of rudimentary. Yeah, he sure did get him out of there. Whew. Lord, poor Ryan Leslie. He lost his job, lost his woman, got pushed back to the back of the industry. And Ryan Leslie is like a really smart guy. If I'm not mistaken, he's like an MIT grad. Said now it's saying 1.5 million for 6 albums. Listen, Christmas album Easter album, double CD. Sister, you got an album, I got an album. I would push that obligation would be met within no less than 5 years. No less than 5 years. I'd have albums everywhere. I'd be like the CD man downtown. Y'all remember? The CD man walk up to you. Look, come here. I need to talk to you. I got a new project. I will be accepting awards at the Grammys while getting ready to promote an album that's about to come out while still selling the album that's out. Oh, yeah. Oh, especially under these circumstances where I can't put nothing out without having your mama in my video and looking like Junior you. Absolutely not. I'm getting out of here. I don't want to be your damn shadow, your mini me. Mm-mm. And look, you can really, I think they would have been able to push that if it wasn't for Halle doing the what do you call that movie? The Little Mermaid. Had she not have had to take off the time that she took for the Little Mermaid, I think they would possibly be halfway through that obligation already. Would you say, Angel? You make me laugh too much. I'm dead serious. One of these days, I'll show y'all some footage of me when I used to, have my own studio and work. We would do lock-ins. We would sleep in the studio. I had artists that would be in the studio more than me. I would leave them in the studio, go do whatever I got to do, come back like, you still here? Okay. Well, what we working on now? Yeah, so Tina in the video giving Puff Daddy with no dancing. Listen, I felt like her first, launch coming out, they should have let her have individuality. All jokes aside, it was too much overshadowing, of her energy to put all of their energy into that video, because it's like we're still not really getting to know who she is because it's so much of them. Like, we don't need y'all over here and we haven't gotten to know her as an artist yet. Let us feel her out. Like, it was just, that was just weird. It was weird. We don't even see Mama Tina in her, in her own daughter's videos like that. Hey, Terry, welcome to Tarot class. Birdman hand rub. Welcome to the family. Whoo. Y'all had my damn pressure up talking about 10 album deal. I'm telling you, I'll be figuring it out every time I see her. She be like, how you doing? I just finished another album. What? I just seen you last week. I know. I was behind schedule. Woo. Oh, Lord. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You said at my part-time job at TJ Maxx, anybody needs something. Listen, don't play with me. I like places where I could save some money and look good. TJ Maxx in Burlington, shoot, you go to the back and you find some nice stemware and all types of flatware for the house. Said, please read on Kalani. I just saw some more stuff regarding her. It's getting crazy. This is going to be a blind tap in, y'all, because I didn't read anything that has to do with anything, but I got an offbeat energy. Just, oh, Lord, I didn't even light my candles. I feel like I'm going to need to, so let me go ahead. Lord Kalani, don't you raise my blood pressure with no simple-mindedness. Is it just me, or has anyone seen anything advertised between Kalani and her management lately? Because I know she's supposed to be on their roster, but it's very, very quiet. And that's kind of interesting to me because it's like, did they part ways and we didn't know? You said, I'm reading the court documents right now and I'm shocked and disgusted. Oh, God. Oh, Lord. Somebody roll up and somebody take a shot for me because I feel like I'm about to go down in a rabbit hole. I can't do an episode without a rabbit hole. Oh, no. Ooh. All righty, give me a second, y'all. I need to anoint myself before I go in on this one. Oh, y'all, my candle is dancing already. Y'all see how this candle is jumping? If you see how far down the wick is in this candle, you'll know how tall this is. This is about to be a mess. Anybody wants to know, is Lion of Judah oil? Lord. Y'all, this flame is getting taller and taller. You said rabbit hole ponytail time. Lord. I don't even know if I got a hair clip over here, but oh, mercy. Heavenly Father, angels, and ancestors of the highest heavenly order. Whew, keep the energy clean and cleansed around me and everyone that is watching this currently now and in the replay. Keep us all safe from our hurt, harm, and danger. Block all maleficent spirits, any trickster spirits that may try to come through. Let the messages come from the highest of the Elohim only, and love, light, integrity, and truth. Oh, Lord. Give me the energy around Kanani and what's going on with her legally. Ten of Pentacles. This isn't about her receiving money, y'all. She may have... Is she being sued for some money right now? Y'all, there go the sirens. Is she being sued right now? Like somebody got a judgment against her? Because it looks like she could lose everything she got. And usually I don't get that from Ten of Pentacles in the upright. But so I think her baby daddy. Okay, so she is being sued for custody and stuff. Y'all, if she end up in a Brittany and Kevin Federline situation, this ain't gonna go too well for her because she definitely don't have Brittany type of money. So that got her in spirit as a groomer, like she was grooming a child for industry elevation. Sadly, she be one of a whole bunch. He's making claims that she's an unfit mother because she's in a cult. I knew it was a reason I was supposed to anoint myself before I went into this mess. said no, he stopped the lawsuit against her baby daddy. Sounds like the power of Pebble Nation again. So her baby daddy dropped the lawsuit. She admitted to the cult, but now she's saying she got out of it. Just because you get out of a cult does not mean you got out of the spiritual contract. Y'all, if she tried to leave these people behind and this is how she came up, be prepared to hear some messages about her being ostracized and being broke, losing money. That was the first message that came through to me. Like, her money is about to be affected big time. Said in the court documents, it's alleged that she left her child with the cult members and let them shower with her child. What? Didn't I say sound like the work of Pebble Nation? Now, I ain't gonna say who this is. But just remember, y'all, you don't get an incident in this industry without peanut butter and jelly. Look who showed up. Hey, Jelly. What's anybody know her sun sign? I'm waiting to see. Waiting to see if one of y'all can. Oh, okay. So she's a Taurus. She's an Earth sign. Thank you. So you've got the Queen of Cups here, the Page of Pentacles, and the Five of Pentacles. So it's like she knows, her intuition is telling her that if she steps out of this energy with this so-called cult that she's no longer a part of, that she will lose everything. Five of Pentacles. Any new business ventures, any new things that she goes off into will not be fruitful without certain associations. Oh, God. Three of Cups represents like parties, jovial get-togethers, and gossip about parties. She may be involved in some things that are considered a bit risky that, people do when they party. Okay? Ain't it weird, y'all, how everybody who, threw rocks and hid their hands when it came to Tory all facing this type of energy right before he goes before the appellate court? Now, any of y'all that's been with me for a while, Seven of Cups is not just about considering your options and confusion. This is my card for substance abuse, someone who may be cross addicted, because in every cup there is something different, allegedly. She was at the Diddler party with the big bed. I remember her touching on Krishan. Here's the party card. So, like I said, remember she can't really leave this association because without this association, it's going to be real hard for her to move around, baby. This is why you don't dance in the devil's lair. Alrighty, off the titty. What we got? Wounded warrior. Four of Cups. Y'all, I don't know what type of institution she was a part of, but this feels a little Anton LaVey-ish. Y'all do what y'all want with that. Because what in the world is going on where you got this wounded warrior energy attached to what could possibly be substance abuse? Angels, does she have an issue with violence? Does she have an issue with violence? Ten of Wands. She got a lot of heavy burdens on her. Nine of Wands to the Ten of Wands, wounded warrior. Queen of Swords, which can also be, you know, getting someone that's on the higher end of like a lawyer, law official. Oh God. Don't be surprised, y'all, she start having legal troubles or this resurfaces, and when it resurfaces, it's going to be a tower and it's going to come out of nowhere, and it's definitely going to affect her earning potential. This man needs to go and get custody of his child, period. He needs to go get custody of his child. So she's having problems with getting collaborations right now. Don't be surprised because the energy going on right now in the industry, nobody wants to be around anybody that might have these diddler type titles on them or be alleged to be involved in anything that is close to this type of energy. So things are cooling off for her because she's having issues with people wanting to collaborate with her, and this is also affecting her money. And let's keep it a thou wow, y'all. Let's not forget her ex-boyfriend is YG. So depending on how they broke up, it might be hard for her to go back to the street and work with up-and-coming artists because they may be more loyal to him than they are to her. People are walking away from her. Eight of Cups. Opportunities. People are walking away from her because of these messages that are coming out. I don't know what, y'all, pardon me. And y'all know my nose don't run while I'm on a live, but I told y'all I'm getting the energy of someone with this Seven of Cups, where there could be multiple things going on, you know, multiple substances allegedly. And it didn't start until after, like my nose is tingling. And that came right before this wounded warrior and Ten of Wands type energy. She may have an issue with her temper when it comes to her patience with this child. And it could be attached to this Seven of Cups energy, allegedly. Yeah, her back is against the wall. Two of Wands in reverse, falling out under the Knight of Wands. Um, she doesn't have a choice. She got to do whatever Jelly tell her to do. Well, that thank you, Vintage Paris Doll Anna, because that explains why my nose is tingling and is. Well, all right. So I remember when Nikki asked her to send vocals and she was about to and happy, and Nikki asked, then some fans talked her out of it because of Nikki's husband. Look at her now. Said it's the song Monica and Keisha Cole are on. Um, Angel, they just posted on the Shade Room about her and readings. This is the psychic out of the deck. Queen of Cups. And if she's investing in whoever this is that gives her readings, baby, this is like the prayer of an unrelenting whore. It's not making it past your lips, let alone through the ceiling. It is not helping her. Whoever is advising her, she needs somebody else, because they're not telling her the truth about what's going on with this energy and what's to come. But I do see that someone around her is spiritually helping to shift energy, allegedly. I mean, a lot of them have spiritual advisors. Don't be surprised about that. Um, it's more common nowadays to have someone that has a gift like mine in your pocket, because people who do big budget deals, they'll go to, a spiritual advisor to forecast what's to come. But this person must have on some ashy contacts. Show me this. Oh no. Knight of Cups in reverse, falling under the Three of Cups. Something unrequited happened. Some kind of advance, some unwanted advance happened at a party. Oh, wait a minute. So she's avoiding people due to their, past so-called demons, carnal demons, their past records, allegedly, when it comes to being possibly sexually inappropriate. But it looks like she has that same energy. Queen of Coins would definitely represent an earth sign. So this is somebody else who may, get a little lit, feel a little good, and get a little, touchy feely, and it may be unrequited for some, allegedly. She's keeping quiet about legal issues because she's got a lot of secrets. She's trying to consider her options, y'all. She's got a lot of secrets. Whatever she's got going on with this spiritual path that she's taking, she's at a fork in the road. I guess nobody told her that a lot of this witchcraft is dying because the veil is lifting. So when the veil lifts for all people, not just people who have gifts, all illusions must die. And, when people don't understand, spell work and being misleading and lying and manipulating and gossip, those are all parts of spell work as well. That's why so many people are getting exposed right now, because that veil is lifting and is showing people the truth. So, funny how she judged other people for being carnally irresponsible. And it looks like she is everything that she accused other people of being, allegedly. Yeah, tower's coming for her. This is falling under the tower. So if you do not see, I'm glad I said that. If you do not see her management really putting any oomph behind her, pushing her right now, it's because they're trying to iron out what could be some really heavy legal troubles. And they need her out of the public right now because whatever she got going on, it goes back to this, okay? Whatever happened at this party, that was unwarranted and unwelcome. So, yeah. Said I heard that the feds raided Ross' house. Is that true? I've heard that as well. And y'all got to remember, Jonathan Odie did say when he was, thank you, Mickey. Welcome to the family. Jonathan Odie did say when he was in that interrogation room that DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, Puffy, and somebody else, he named all of them as traffickers. And then you got, you know, Tia Kemp coming out accusing Rick Ross of what could be not just unaliving someone, but conspiring to unalive someone. And that all ties into that federale stuff. So I would not be surprised. A lot of people right now are getting raided, y'all. They just not putting it all on TV. It's one of the biggest well-known secrets in Hollywood. See, Ray J slipped up, y'all, when he was talking to them on TMZ and he got too comfortable and the spirit of Jaguar Wright jumped out of his ass and he started telling that you got celebrities that's paying people off under the table because they don't want to have one of these come to Jesus Diddy moments. When I told y'all that Hollywood is burning, I could smell the wood all the way over here. Hey, my Barbie, listen, it's only a matter of time if it hasn't happened already and they're trying to, you know, keep it out the news. Do you think he had something to do with Tia's son getting pow pow? Whew, I don't even want to get off into that because of the politics, but I will say this. I won't necessarily put that on him, but I will say that it's real strange out here right now. And if anybody wanted to do something, that would have been the perfect time to do it because you're going to look at him versus anybody else. I did a reading on that, that that Tia situation and what she said about, you know, him not wanting her here anymore. And I saw that that could actually be a real thing. Raindrop, if you spam me one more time. Y'all, when I tell you it's really strange out here in these Hollywood streets because these people don't make their money the way you think they do. Money is not in music the way it used to be. Years ago when I worked in music, when I first started, the average budget for a music video when you were on a label was like $600,000. These artists can't even get an eighth of that, you know, for a, you know, to get signed. You know, their budget to even get signed is not even close to that. That used to be a standard music video. It was so outlandish that even the Roots made fun of it. What's that song they had, What We Do? That whole video was making fun of the opulence in the music videos and how, you know, you got to have the quintessential, make it rain, and you got to do this and you got to do that. Music is definitely not making the money that it used to make anymore. A lot of money is being made in the paint, y'all. Now, whatever you think the paint is, fill in the blank. But it ain't coming from these pure sales, because pure sales is very far few and in between. If you were an artist 10 years ago with the sales that these artists have right now, every last one of these artists would have been dropped. You know how embarrassing it is back in the early 2000s, I will say even up to the 2010s, if you dropped and you did 100K or less, you were getting dropped for 100 and 150K back then, because they were still, doing well with pure sales. These pure sales are so low, you might as well get a damn job. If you can't go out and do actual concerts and make your money doing club dates, it's no need for you to do music, because music is bankrupt. And if y'all think it's broke now, just wait until, the next 2 years, when all these trials get to popping off and money get tied up and people are investigated. The money is going to go back to the chitlin circuit. It's going back to the street. And that's why all these artists, if you're an artist and you're in here right now, go independent. Don't sign any major label deals. Go independent, get your distribution. They have distribution deals where they will match you. So if you come to the table and say, hey, I need distribution for 100,000 units, they'll match you 100,000 for 100,000. It's not the same game that it used to be. You can bypass the majors and do very well out here as an independent. Y'all, they got independent artists that are on the Forbes list. Now think about how much money those artists keep in their pockets. They ain't got to pay a lot back to recoup. Said trafficking is where they are making their money. I think it's much bigger than we think it is. Welcome to the Rabbit Hole University. And see, I don't want y'all to think that this just started. A lot of record labels, when you go back to the 40s, 50s, and 60s, they were started off of the oldest profession known to man. Okay? Some of your favorite artists that your mama and your grandma used to listen to came from off the corners. Or they were high-end escorts. It's a very well-known secret within the industry, that is. Women and men. Said plus artists were actually talented and made music that resonated. Now it's just popularity contests and based on how many followers they have. Even that's not even something you can depend on, because guess what they can do? They can buy marketing packages and start you off with anywhere from 50 to 100,000 to 1 million fake followers and build your followers. Just like this platform right here. YouTube had to start cracking down and removing, fake likes and, bots from people's channels, because a lot of these artists were running up their numbers with these marketing packages and these bots. And it's not necessarily that they were doing it themselves. It was a part of what the labels were doing under the table, allegedly, to boost the numbers so that they can get more people to come in, because the higher the numbers are, people are like, oh, it's popping. A lot of people like it. They listening to it. Witchy Nikki, that ain't working for Henny. I promise you it's not. They used that deal, and that deal didn't get them more than a couple packs of bologna and a can of Spam. It really didn't do much. If it did, they wouldn't have had to re-release an album as a mixtape. Even though the second version is way better than the first, they wouldn't have had to do that to combine numbers. and the numbers were still low. So it makes you think, like, how are you, doing all this Harry Houdini stuff and still at the bottom? And when I say she's at the bottom, I'm not saying that she's not highly visible, she's not seen. I'm saying if her fan base was fanning like they were supposed to, it's no way in the world the person she took on tour as her opener would have surpassed her 3 times over. That girl is on multiple different charts. Still in the top, what, the top 40? She's not even in the top 100. If she touches the top 100, she's there for what, like a week, and then it just slides right off. That's not organic. You don't chart and disappear in the same 7 days or within a 10-day, period of time. If every time you hit it don't stick, is something wrong with that. Local artists don't even do that. Regional artists usually, when they chart better than that. They usually stay wherever they are. They usually possibly stay at a plateau. It'll go up before it completely just disappears. Let's see what y'all talking about over here. You said probably Victoria Monet they used to date. Oh, that's interesting. Says she must be their top tier working girl because I wouldn't have shelved her. Said I would. Oh, you said I would have shelved her. I mean, they put a lot into marketing her and getting her out there, so they need her to be seen. They need her to make the PR runs. And when it wasn't working as well as it needed to in the United States, then it's like expand to Asia. But remember, I told y'all this. I kind of touched on this before. I think I touched on this last week. So remember in the 60s, there was a British invasion, and British artists came over and they took over, the popular music charts, the rock charts, right? So the next invasion, remember I told y'all this, I'm calling it now, it's going to be K-pop. But K-pop is going to come into the United States because there is a North Korean record label right now that is buying up every American record label it can get. And they're going to be the new big three. It's going to be Atlantic, this Asian record label, and Republic. That's going to be your new big three. And what's going to happen is that the K-pop artists who already have gotten acclimated working with, hip hop and urban artists, they're going to come in and, for the urban artists, it's good to trend with K-pop, but they don't understand they're working with their replacements. So when K-pop gets comfortable enough, they're going to be the new face of urban music, and then they're not going to need the cosign anymore. And here's the thing. How do you drop an album as an American artist the same week as a K-pop artist? You can't. K-pop supporters are strong. K-pop doesn't drop and do 100K the first week. So how are artists going to compete in rap, R&B with K-pop? It's about to be a hell of a damn struggle. That's right, Witchy Nikki, they can't. The fan bases are extremely strong, and so is the label support. Said I thought Atlantic was bankrupt. Listen, wealthy people bankrupt is not regular everyday people broke. Bankrupt is nothing more than writing off certain expenses for the next 12 to 24 months and coming back without that debt. That's it. When you see a wealthy person say that they're bankrupt, all they're doing is rearranging their assets and eliminating debt. Once that debt is gone, they can come back and have that, bankruptcy removed from their credit report and start all over again. That's why they really don't go broke. Y'all got to remember, MC Hammer went bankrupt. But he's also a contributor to this app that I'm on right now called YouTube. We never saw him just go flat broke. We saw him transition. He said, yes, we are very loyal. Said that's what Sky gets for getting pregnant with someone whose name is Lord. She in a world of trouble in that relationship, y'all. I don't know if y'all know this, but they got legal problems. And I allegedly, this is my opinion, I believe that he possibly got her pregnant and was trying to get her to marry him so that she wouldn't be able to testify against him. That's my opinion. Said, I just don't like that for real K-pop music. It's no substance, just a bunch of repetition. Well, here's the thing. K-pop does make, good music. And I will say this. They have artist development that the United States haven't had in ages. Orion, honey, how I'm gonna marry you? I don't even know you. Like their artist development is bar none. When I tell you point blank period, like they study. Okay? They have to train for years before you see a K-pop group hit the stage. They are constantly in rehearsals to learn how to dance. They are in vocal classes. They learn how to, you know, perform and command the stage. They have the artist development that we haven't had since the 90s. That's why K-pop is so polished. And that's another reason why they're going to come over here and run all these American artists out of their own industry because we don't do artist development anymore. We just go pick people up that can barely read and say, here's a mic. Can you twerk? Okay. And that's why we look crazy, and it's going to get worse. Wait a minute, what the hell? Who got hit by a car and running from the police? They said Quavo wants to go K-pop. He might move to Japan. Before he goes K-pop, he needs to really work with some real K-pop artists because I guarantee you the way that they would train him and prepare him for the stage is nothing like anything that he's ever been a part of. That two-step that he do and all those loud ass Muppet Baby, ad libs in the background is not going to cut it in K-pop. He's going to have to step up his whole entire performance to go K-pop. K-pop really does train. I wish y'all could see the way that they train K-pop artists. It's like they have to go and live and in the place where they train. It's like going to musical college. Said, yeah, we need to bring back artist development. That's when celebs were really celebs. Not only artist development, we need to limit some of these people's social media access because I don't know about y'all, but some of these people, the more you know about them, the less you want to hear their voice. I don't want to know that the person who music I like is simple minded. I liked it when we didn't know too much about the artist. I feel like it took away from the ambiance because you got to imagine what this person was like and it fed into the fantasy. Some of these people are not, really the best at articulating, and then they get to talking and it's like, no, if you lack personality and you have issues with being able to enunciate and communicate, we don't need to hear from you that often. And that's not being mean, that's just true because it's diminishing your brand. We get too much information. Let's see what y'all talking about over here in Station Head. Soul of a lioness, don't laugh at me like that. I mean, seriously, it's like me growing up as a musician. Like, I've played instruments my whole entire life. So, I was a band kid. And when you're, a child that plays instruments, you're playing that instrument several hours a day, every day. And then I was a section leader. And, I worked in programs where I would go out and teach, at other schools about music theory and things like that. So I was constantly training and learning. To me, that's the only way you get better as an artist. You can't get better if you don't actually study. You need to study the generations before you. You need to study what's going on around you, and then you'll know what it is that you bring to the table and how you can adapt when it comes to how music progresses throughout the generations. You can't progress if you don't even study. Said K-pop has a very huge fan base, but I feel that somehow fell off a little bit. They were not as strong as they were a few years ago. It might be risky for American artists to take that path. They have not fallen off at all, I promise you, because you got to think about they are dominant in world charts. American artists are not ready. Now that I give you, American artists are not ready to compete with K-pop artists because they train like the military when it comes to how they perfect their movements and the way that they command attention on the stage. I mean, if you look at BTS and Blackpink, two of the most popular K-pop bands, well, groups. Watch how BTS dances and how fluent they are, and the way that they all show personality but uniformity at the same time. We can't get two heifers in one video to twerk on the beat at the same time. American artists are too far removed from artist development to compete with the likes of K-pop. Not ready. Not ready at all. It's like taking a D- student to the spelling bee and hoping for the best. So the music scene in America has gone to the dogs. I don't much enjoy the music coming out of America. Yeah, people pushing weird narratives that I can't identify with. Even gangster rap is crap. I don't see where any lie was told there. Yes, K-pop is serious about their fetish. I agree. Let's see. Hey, Rainbow saw it. He said, I saw an article earlier saying those K-pop bands bring in over 5 mil, or even might have said bill, a year overseas. It's probably billion. Probably billion. Because a local artist, a regional artist can bring in 5 million. So I'm going to stick with the billions because they make a lot of money. At least for the company. I don't know how it worked when they get to splitting it 73 ways, because I wouldn't want to be in a group with that many people. We got to live together. They got to split our checks too many ways. So it would be 30 people in the group. and they be 30 something being passed off as 20 something in K-pop groups. Yes, yes, yes. But see, you got to remember with artist development back when we still had talent in America, when everybody wanted to, be like an American artist because we were the gold standard, we did the same thing. Nobody knew somebody's real age in the industry. Looking at me right now, you wouldn't think I was 44. If I was an artist, they would tell me I bet not dare say that out loud. They would push me all the way back to probably like 28 or 30 if they can help me to get away with it, because it makes you more marketable, because it feels like they got more time to push you if they make you younger on paper. They would never allow me to tell my real age if I was an artist. Well, thank you, Arturo. Blessings to you too. Thank you, Brett. Yeah, they would never allow me to tell my real age because of marketing purposes. They want to squeeze you and get the last dime out of you, like getting the last little bit of toothpaste out of the tube. They would turn that age back as far as they can. Hell, Michael Jackson was 9 years old forever in the Jackson 5. We didn't know Michael's age until damn near Thriller. And I still think they played with it then. Said American music has been overtaken by African music, and Africans have been holding down Chris Brown like crazy. We haven't been taken over by African music. America has been stealing from K-pop. I mean, not K-pop, from world music. Period. Like Afro beats, American artists. Now, Chris is a different anomaly. There's not much that Chris can't do. If you put Chris with, like, somebody that sings opera, by the end of the week, Chris will learn how to sing opera. He's different because he's true talent. But the only one that is broken into the American market that is really making moves for African music right now is Tyler. America is over there robbing Afrobeats blind because America has run out of steam and has run out of ideas. So it's like, let's go everywhere else to get something going on because we just don't have it. And that's what happens when people lack talent. We have a serious lack of talent right now. So do you manage a pop group? I used to manage several different acts. I had runway models, I had comedians, I had a couple of rappers, I had a movie producer at one point in time. So I've worked in all phases of entertainment behind the scenes as a manager. Never had a pop group though. And believe it or not, I haven't had any female artists that I work with. The only female that I worked with was actually a model, and she went off into she took a hiatus to have children, and now she's back to doing modeling. But I retired from management, so I've bent my corners. It's not too many it's not too many managers rather that work in that many different phases of entertainment. So I've 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 been in several different seats. Thanks for asking, Brett. You said they were saying they bring more than Samsung. I'm not surprised, Rainbow Sod. I promise you I'm not. K-pop, literally. If you look at the whole entire, genre of K-pop, that's trillions of dollars. American music cannot compete with K-pop. So Eminem and his competitors all just dissed. Okay, what are you trying to say, Brett? Because that comment is all over the place. You said diss and bitch on each other. I mean, what do you expect a battle rapper to do? I mean, real talk, that's a battle rapper. A battle rapper is not supposed to be meek and mild. It's just, he feels like in this generation he may feel like a dinosaur because he came from a generation with talent. You got to think about, like, Eminem, if he was still on a major, he would be catching hell right now because they don't know what to do with talent anymore. This man is independent. He doesn't do any marketing for real. Not half of what they used to do for him. He just pops up when he wants to and drops an album and breaks all the numbers for that year, that chart, without any major marketing. And it's because he has the fan base, and he literally drops good music every time. Now, is it music that will be on the radio? Possibly not, because people are not cerebral anymore like they used to be. A lot of people, they don't require intelligent music anymore. They yeah, it's sad. It's sad to see songs where you got 5 and 10 people on one song writing, and the song literally is still trash. How do you have a whole group of people that come together and they create trash? You said Africans really suffer from horrible theft. I saw Billy Gates interested in Afro beats and my jaw dropped. Well, he's about to go over there and spread his influence. We'll say that. I felt bad to see him shaking hands with, the infrastructure over there in Ethiopia. I was like, y'all setting these people up for downfall, letting this man come in the country. He's a walking pestilence. So what kind of culture is that for a battle rapper to just be dissing and bitching and spitting chips? Brett, I don't know what you're used to listening to, but you don't know anything about hip hop if you don't understand what battle rap is. It was built off of battle rap. What we have now does not compare to hip hop for real. These people can't even conjugate verbs, adjectives, nouns to make decent sentences. So they're not hip hop, they're barely rap. That man is going to go down in history because he's one of the best to ever do it. And it's sad because most people don't want to give him credit because he's white, but the ones that they want to give credit to sound like they went down that long hallway and spent their whole scholastic adventures in that little small class. I mean, this whole past year in hip hop has literally been about battle rap. Why do you think people were so excited about Kendrick Lamar versus Drake? That was all battle rap. You got people that's on Instagram that's bitching and they ain't making no money, and it sounds illiterate. They don't even know how to use their verbs. How are you a rapper and you don't know how to enunciate? You don't know how to use vocal inflections. You don't know what it is to have entendres. Can't even spell entendre. Brett, I don't know where you been, baby. You must have been under a rock. Eminem has been exposing Diddy for years. Years. When he took that swipe at Machine Gun Kelly, that song Kill Shot, he told people back then that Diddy was responsible for the hit that was put on Tupac. That was the very last line in the song. He's been taking all types of swipes at Diddy for years, and nobody took it serious. Now look, he's been one of the most vocal this whole time, telling everybody that Diddy was a weirdo and he was responsible for Pac and Biggie not being here. So I got to give him his props on that. He never backed down. He stood 10 toes down and said what he needed to say. You said, nah, I'm an Australian. I don't have to live under a rock to not be listening to a certain genre of music, love. It's not about being from Australia, because Eminem is global, sweetie. You wouldn't even know about him if he wasn't global. He's so big he don't even need to be on the radio. Now I don't know how the awards work in Australia, but here in America, the sales are so bad for music that they have to add your YouTube views, your radio spins, your merch, your downloads, your streams, and your pure sales to your Grammys, because nobody is really cutting it anymore. It's so hard to get a Grammy off of just pure talent that record labels are literally purchasing marketing packages to get people nominated. It's that sad. It really is. So how about him getting paid 1.8 to endorse Kamala? He got the least out of everybody. You talking about 1.8? Did you remember what we just said earlier about what Henny and Joanne got? Why in the world did Henny get 5 million to perform a song that had everybody in the DNC sleep? Did y'all see that crowd? That crowd didn't even care. He got the least out of everybody. That's that's terrible. So if all of them were going to get paid, why shouldn't he? Either way, though, this whole election was playing in our face, y'all. We the only ones didn't get nothing out of it. Say, okay, they're lyrical geniuses, but it's all computerized. I can appreciate more so musicians, just my personal perspective. I respect your perspective. I mean, hey, I can't tell you how to think. That's cool. But I will tell you, as somebody who grew up watching him before he became famous, him rapping is not computerized. That man literally, y'all, let me give y'all a story, right? So at the hip hop shop, I want to say this was like 94, 95. I believe this was 1994. They had a competition where, the objective of the freestyle competition was to rap as long as you could without cursing. No derogatory language. I'm going to ask y'all, how long do y'all think Eminem rapped without repeating anything? Okay, he never said the same thing twice. How long do y'all think he rapped? I'm going to wait to see what y'all say in the comments. Oh, that's cool, Brett. I mean, hey, everybody has their preference. Brett, you're about to, oh my gosh. You may not know hip hop, but you got the answer right. You may not listen to hip hop, but you got the answer right. Brett has the right answer, y'all. Nope. Look at Brett's answer. Brett has the right answer. 2 hours. They took the mic from him and told him to shut up. Was like, at this point, it's overkill. You already won. Shut up. It was 2 hours. Never cursed, never said the same thing twice. Can y'all imagine that? 2 hours. They had to take the mic from him. hours. Never said the same thing twice. Never cussed, not once. They got so tired, just give me the mic. See, back then they had this. They also had this thing called the Hip Hop Olympics. Y'all look it up. The Hip Hop Olympics was out in LA, and the best lyricists across the nation would go to LA to enter the Hip Hop Olympics, and they would compete against the top lyricists from every state in the nation. Like, I go back with this. So, growing up in that era where they had the Hip Hop Olympics, and you used to have, summits that people would go to in the industry, because there was no social media, not like how it is now. This was like before MySpace, and when MySpace first started, where everybody would go to summits. You had several different summits, and you would go to these summits, and that's how people in the industry would meet up with each other, and you know, um, pretty much network. You say, yes, ma'am, I still have my cassette tapes. Baby, listen. Said, I like breakdance too, but I can't do that shit either. Well, see, that would be a part of the Hip Hop Olympics. They did have a part for breakdance and b-boy, b-girl, all of that. Like, anything that was a part of the five elements of hip hop was a part of the Hip Hop Olympics. Did you see Ray Gun? Yes, I did. And I just saw, what was that football player that redid her whole entire routine in the end zone? Y'all, I literally was crying. I was laughing so hard. He memorized her whole routine and did it as his end zone dance. When he got a touchdown. Oh my gosh, I should pull it up so y'all can see it. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Oh my God. Hold on, let me make sure I got my sound turned down. I don't need. Look, wait a minute. Y'all, this is ridiculous. Why are they doing this to me? Like, why did he sit up there and learn that whole routine and do and do that in the end zone when he got a touchdown? So yeah, that's, oh my gosh. You said look up the video of Flying Kangaroo 2024. The kangaroo mimics ray gun. I can't. Oh my God. Did you see y'all, did y'all see the synchronized swimmer who learned her routine and did the whole routine underwater? Like, this is just like the joke that will never stop running. Said, didn't Tori just drop new music? They're going back in the vault, dropping stuff that Tori has already had locked and loaded. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's dropping new music. All I can say is that is a crying shame that a man that is in prison made the best music to come out this year over the phone from prison. That's crazy. Hey, Cat Eye, sweetie, how are you? Said, I know he was waiting all day to get the touchdown to do that. Y'all, I couldn't have been at that game. They would have had to pick me up off the floor. I literally would have been on the floor screaming. Y'all, what else y'all want me to tap into? It's fun here tonight. I had to lift that energy after the Kalani thing, because I don't like reading weird stuff, especially when it comes to children. You said Jelly Roll is better than Lil Wayne, though. those are two totally different genres, so you can't even compare the two. Jelly Roll for sure is dope. Lil Wayne, I want him to start taking care of himself because I miss the old Wayne for sure. The old Wayne couldn't do nothing with him. Well, hi, Austin. Said Tori is doing the same thing Vibes Cartel was doing, making good music in jail. Um, Tori surpassed Vibes. Tori broke the code. Anytime you can figure out how to engineer the music to take the sound off from the the background noise, the feedback. That feedback on those recorded phone calls is really, really prevalent. They did an excellent job removing that feedback. Oh, thanks, Brett. Welcome to the family. Let's see what you say. Well, first of all, that literal Jelly Roll is big, literally, and Little Wayne is little, literally. Okay, let's see. Adrena English. Okay, that's the young lady who was talking about the shenanigans down there at the Puffy party. Canada on the Toronto been birthing the best artist for 10 years. Um, I'm not gonna say they've been birthing the best artists for 10 years because a lot of the best artists are not even allowed out of the Toronto scene. Tory was an anomaly. He was something that wasn't supposed to happen. One of y'all biggest people from the scene is making sure the rest of y'all ain't being heard. Can you tap into, hold on, Elon and Trump? Um, I'll do a light tap in on that. Actually, you know what? That's going to be a full reading. I'll do that one tomorrow morning so it can be up um, by tomorrow evening because that needs to be a deep dive. Because I wanted to tap into that energy anyway to see how it's going to affect Cardi for popping off at the mouth with both of these people. I think that was the worst thing she could have done because she didn't consider how this was going to affect how she moves around in her career in total. I don't care how big that label is, they are not going to go toe to toe with the president. No, ma'am, no, sir. Not if they don't have to. Says some people are ashamed to listen to Kanye, but I think he's all right and a lyrical genius and an upbeat style of vocalist. Interesting. I mean, Kanye is definitely talented. You just got to catch him when he's in that zone and he's in that creative mode. So Abel was an anomaly as well. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The weekend, I remember the first song that him and Drake did together when Drake was trying to sign him, The Zone. That song I would leave on repeat. I love The Zone. But I'm glad that he left because he was never going to make it. He was going to be a part of a sweatshop, allegedly. Say Young Money and Nicki, Allie Carter. Let's see, the guys who aren't allowed out of Toronto are punks. Baby, I wouldn't say that. You got to understand how this machine works. Some of those people were very young as well, and they were too trusting. And because they didn't understand how business works and they don't understand, well, they know now, but they didn't understand how those sharks worked. They did work or they associated with people without any paperwork and it backfired on them because they didn't know any better. Now that person has such a stronghold on everything that they just don't have how do I say this? They don't have the power to push back. See, the real gangsters wear suits. You don't find that out until you really get into business where money is on the line. And those people that wear suits, those are the sharks, for sure. And if they know that those people can come out of Toronto and expose somebody that they make a lot of money on, because if they come out, you start to figure out where that sound is coming from. You start to figure out who the inspiration really is. Why would you jeopardize the church's money and let these other people out who you're not guaranteed to make money off of? I mean, look at what happened to cannabis. Can I bust? Yes, you can. Like that whole thing back and forth with him and LL. Cannabis was a dope artist. We haven't seen him since. And it wasn't because, he's not a talented artist. It's because he went against the machine and he went against somebody that had those suits behind him. Those suits make a difference. He said, what's going to happen when Donald Trump possibly gets rid of the Department of Education? I know this might be a hard pill to swallow, y'all, but the Department of Education been robbing urban schools for a very long time, and that's the reason why the curriculum is below the bare minimum. Somebody needs to break it up. We are far behind other countries when it comes to our education standards. You go to other countries, children know anywhere from 3 to 5 languages by the time they're in the first grade. We have people that graduate and still can't read on a 5th grade reading level. It's time to start holding them accountable. So how about Jolene and Trump? She sent him a cease and desist because of her song during the campaign. Didn't I tell y'all that Trump is the petty guy? Him and 50 get along the way that they do because they have, similar brands of petty. Okay? So will it be a major backlash between them two? No. But if she ever needs a favor and needs to call up that line and say, hey, we got some trouble going on over here. Can we slide you something to help? Nope, because now he has the upper hand. Said, I wonder how many brilliant top 10 hits that Whitney Houston would have written if she didn't pass. Did we see her absolute best? Has me wondering. I don't think we saw her absolute best, and that's saying a lot because Whitney is amazing. Was amazing. Whitney was pigeonholed for a very long time because they wanted her to only be in the pop market, which made it really hard for her for years to connect with her own community because they kept her off of urban airwaves. They marketed her to more of like a white fan base, and it ended up kind of hurting her because when it came time to transition her sound, she had to come back to the urban airwaves and get reacclimated. But it's Whitney, so she was able to do it. You said Glow and Meg. Well, I told y'all Glow is the new Meg. They swapped them out. Glow is getting the numbers. Glow is on, the top 20 and the top 40. She's bringing home the bacon. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters is who brings home the money. Said, wait a minute. Said, have you watched people's reaction on YouTube to Pink Floyd's music, including African Americans? It's interesting how they react. I've watched reactions to some of everything. Like, I'm not just off into hip hop. I'm a musician first. So if it's good music, I like good music. Like, I love heavy metal, believe it or not. Um, it like opera, all types of things like that. Like, if you go back and you look at Pavarotti performing with James Brown, and they performed "It's a Man's World." That to me was an amazing rendition of "It's a Man's World," because those were two totally opposite types of artists and talents that came together, and it was awesome. Um, I just like real talent, raw talent. Like Teddy Swims. I love to hear him. Teddy Swims has a powerful voice. Said, I feel you worked with a few OVO artists and did some shows with Tori as well. No, I haven't. Now, I haven't done that. But I am a true music connoisseur, and I have bent my corners. Like, I live in Detroit, so I'm literally right there at the Canadian border. So, public access television over here is like what, Channel 9, the CBC. Like, I grew up on a lot of Canadian television and a lot of the culture because we're so close. So, even like, I want to say like the Windsor Cafe, and then you would have a lot of Canadian artists that would come over here, and they would, get in the talent shows and the open mics over here. So it's very close. Said people hate on Drake, but reality is no one gave a shit about Toronto before he put it on. Now it's an entire gen. I'm not gonna say that, sweetie, because I know a lot of dope artists that came out of Canada. What I will tell you is this: the only reason why Drake made it in the United States is because who got behind him. Drake would have been nothing and nobody if Jay Prince didn't say, well, I'm not going to work with them. I'm going to take them over here to Wayne. Between Jay Prince and Lil Wayne, you would never have had a Drake. Because when Drake came over here, he was Aubrey from Degrassi. Nobody in America cared about Aubrey from Degrassi. You had to live near the United States and Canadian border to have watched Degrassi to know who Wheelchair Jimmy was. It was those two that made a difference for him. He would have never made it out of the Canadian infrastructure into the United States if it wasn't for them giving him, the cosign. Said Trump pardoned Desiree. Technically, they owe him something. Interesting. Trump said, see if the states can handle their own education. Mind as well. You said Wonder Girl made the entire Travis Scott's sound. That's a whole influence Toronto has on music, and that's nothing to do with Drake. That's why I said there's a lot of talented people in Toronto. Like, I don't know what the travel was like right now for like the whole what's the festival that's in Toronto every year? Was it Carnival? Like, that was a big thing for people here in the 90s to the early 2000s. In the 90s, we would all travel to come and party in Canada. Like, I knew a lot of dancers, a lot of exotic dancers here in the States that would come over to, I believe it's Calumet. I think it's Calumet. Like, yeah, they would go out there for like y'all competitions for the exotic dancers because they were like a pageant. And they would have like $100,000 purse that you could win. But when I tell y'all, those costumes were amazing. Like, they had a whole entire exotic dancer pageant that they would do every year. So it's always been a back and forth exchange between whoever stays by each side of the border working together. Hey, Unique Melody. So have you ever heard of knock loose. They're breaking waves in the heavy metal game. No, but thank you for suggesting them, Austin. I'll look them up for sure. Said, wow, I wouldn't have known you like heavy metal if you didn't mention it. I told you, I'm not just into urban music. I'm a musician first. Like I always wanted to play guitar. I'm a trumpet player by my major, but I play upper and lower brass. So you put any brass in front of me, I can play it all the way from the piccolo all the way up to a sousaphone. I'm a brass major. So I just love good music. I like the way that things, are composed. If you have a great composition, I'm for it. I do like Metallica actually. I mean, I can't sing anything on here because I don't need them to, be trying to strike this video and take my $6. But but like Aerosmith and Red Hot Chili Peppers and like even when Chris Summers did a rock album, that was produced by Lenny Kravitz. Like I love like good music. Said there's a white artist who sounds black. I can't remember his name. One of the songs that African Americans reacted to was "Shock." That sounds like what's his name? Remy Shan. Take a message from my love. It's if that's the artist you're talking about, he was Canadian. That sounds like him. He was like Canada's version of John B. Said Jolene endorsed Kamala, and Camel left her on that stage with him. Camel was trying to be slick and support Trump while Jolene supported Kamala. I didn't even know about that. Some of that stuff I just didn't even watch. Not bushy eyebrow Jimmy. Hi, y'all funny. Said, you know what you're talking about. The Windsor Detroit connection is huge. I didn't know y'all got CBC down there. Oh, absolutely. Are you being served, chef? Like I watch those religiously. My little sisters watch Degrassi. Like I love Chef. He was always mad and cussing people out. Yep, you said they would swap statuses. You see what happened? Oh, Terry says, Brett, there's a lot of white artists that we thought were black, like the White Horseless Dance, David Bowie. David Bowie made some good music. What was that song? Slave? Like, Slave was that joint. So remember when the Irish band U2 sent out to people to their new release via email, and it was non-consensual and people got pissed. I like Bono. Ever meet him, I'm telling him I want a pair of his sunglasses. Say, Angel, I didn't know if you spoke about this already. You were right. They just arrested Sky Jackson's baby father. Thank you for the update, Empress V. I kind of touched on that earlier in this live, but I did a Sky Jackson reading a few months back. Now it's longer than a few months back, probably earlier in the year. And I touched on them having legal troubles. And the reason why I did the reading is because Sky and her baby father are facing a federal indictment. And she got caught up in it because it looks like they're into what might be, alleged trafficking and laundering. So if that is true, every penny she has might be tied up very soon because they're going to have to investigate. And I hope she doesn't go down with him, especially with her being pregnant, because that will not stop them from locking her up. That baby will just have to go to whoever the next of kin is. And that's really horrible. Well, thank you, Fred. And say, yeah, you're right. I never thought that David Bowie sound like a black man. LOL. I just love it when we had real talent, like to listen to like George Michael and Queen and you know, the Average White Band and the Doobie Brothers. Like, everybody used to have talent. Like, even if you think about disco, you could not be a disco artist if you couldn't do three things at the same time. You had to be able to sing, dance simultaneously, and possibly play an instrument. Like, disco artists had to do it all. That's why they got rid of disco. It took too much talent. They won't say that, but it's hard to reproduce real talent. Lenny Kravitz is a good artist. So is Terrence Trent D'Arby. Yeah, I like Terrence Trent D'Arby too. Sade is awesome. I like the Commodores. Okay. Say hot chocolate and old school stuff like that. Okay, stuff that takes real composition. Love it. So yeah, the Canadian artist, I think that's the same guy. Yeah, that's Remy Shan. I never forget that. Take a message from my love. I used to work at a job that would play him and Rianne Benson on repeat all day. Um, Rianne only had that one song that "Say How I Feel." That song played all day at my job, but I didn't care because I made great money there. Do you think Trump will fasten others involved with the Puff to be indicted fast? I think because Trump is an insider and he's got a better handle of knowledge of what was going on and who was there, he's going to be more likely to put out the real list of who was there and what was going on. And this is going to get very interesting. I do not think he's going to save Puff at all. Puff is going to go down like an old battleship. It's over. Said, I love a song that goes, I got now I got greens, beans, tomatoes, potatoes, yams, lambs, chicken, turkey, wrap, you name it. Oh my God, I'm done. So you like Bishop Shirley Caesar. Got it. You like gospel. Oh God. Don't even worry about it. I needed that. You like Shirley Caesar. He said he's been flashing money on social too. Well, I hope he kept some of that money for a great lawyer because they got Fed problems. Said, OMG, what was Sky involved? What did she involve herself in? Um, the boyfriend allegedly is a street pharmaceutical representative, and allegedly she was cleaning money. That's the best I can say it on here. Niles Barkley, that guy performed with Hall and Oates, I think. Oh, okay. Michael McDonald, yes. Casey and the Sunshine Band. Come on, y'all. So what is happening to the Disney girl? Baby, it ain't just the girls. All these Nickelodeon and Disney children, they get to a certain age and they're not ready for real life, and they've been around a lot of twisted energy. So when you throw them out into the world, it's like taking a child that grew up in a very strict, Pentecostal or Kojic type, environment growing up. They don't know anything about the wolves out here. You know, what's that song with the Temptations? No, was that the Temptations that lost and turned out? A wolf in sheep's clothing came, blew her mind, and changed her ways, and now she's turned out. That's what happens when you raise these children in these convoluted, weird environments, and then you put them out here with real people. It, it, they they go out here, and it's like they just got a target on them. And he wasn't interested in that girl. It was what she brought to the table. He used her for everything she was worth, and now she ain't gonna be worth nothing because she can't help him out of the situation because she's caught up in it with him. Said disco was great and roller disco. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Earth, Wind, and Fire. Y'all, I was supposed to tap into something. So, y'all, I had a band director when I was in high school. I used to be the section leader for like, I want to say it was like 25 of us. It was 4 girls and 21 guys in my section. And my band director, we would play Serpentine Fire, and she would have us play it in double time. So for those of you that don't know what that means, the the trumpet part in Serpentine Fire is already fast, right? We would have to play it 2 to 3 times faster than it actually is on the record, and it's already fast. So imagine playing something anywhere from 72 to 78 beats per minute. Like when I tell you your fingers get tired, and I've always had long nails, so I used to play my horn like this. Your fingers get tired to the point to where they get to locking because you're moving so fast. Like I wanted to throw my horn at her, especially in the wintertime when you would have to blow into the horn to keep it warm when you're in parade rest. Like, why would you want to do that to us? And then you want us to march and we're playing above the staff. So just think about how hard it is to play the octaves above the staff at 72 beats per minute, and you're marching, and you gotta, and it's cold. Like, whoo. Great song, but I hated when we had to play that song because she never wanted us to stand still playing that song. Do you know if the tunnels will be found and the children? Tunnels have already been found. They just released documentation. I want to say, I believe it's the California house that Puffy was staying in. And come to find out, that house is actually owned by an Arab man, and he had a lifetime lease. And they found a dentist office and an operating room in that house in the basement. And how they found this out is now that house is up for sale, and it's a part of the listing. Excuse me. I got to get caught up on some of y'all comments. I'm a little far behind. There we go. So has the saxophone been extinct, and can you play the saxophone, Angel? No, I cannot play the saxophone. I was never good with woodwind instruments. Anything that had a reed or a double reed, it was hard for me to play the armature. So I was never good with woodwind, but I'm great with brass. Anything that had a reed, it never worked well with me. I can write the sheet music for it, but play it, no. Said, baby, I put on Earth, Wind, and Fire, get to cleaning up and doing this and that like I'm at the concert. Listen, that music help you clean the house, don't it? It seemed like it take too long without music. Alex Jones just dissed Botch B, Smelly. Oh, Lord. Lord, didn't I tell y'all? You come for the Donald and here comes MAGA. I told y'all. These people gonna learn to leave MAGA and MAGA people alone if you're a public figure. Some of that smoke you just don't want. I'm gonna do one last tap in, y'all. I definitely enjoyed this conversation, and then I'm gonna cut it on here. And everybody, if you'd like to follow us on over to Station Head, feel free, where we can talk freely and have adult conversation without the training wheels. Because y'all know YouTube, they be messing with me. I can't say certain stuff on here. Said I thought saxophone was, it's a woodwind instrument, but it's a total different mouthpiece and armature. It's the mouthpiece that has a reed in it. So saxophone, clarinet, oboe, things like that, they all have a reed. I played with like a 7C mouthpiece, which is a metal mouthpiece where you have to buzz. So it's a total different armature. Good thing I already had high cheekbones, but when you play trumpet, it really does tighten up your face. When you play like the reed instruments, you have to be able, this is going to sound crazy. Y'all leave me alone for this. You got to be able to drop your jaws, and like your jaws have to be, trumpet is totally different armature. So I wanted to explain that without it sounding explicit, because the way they describe it is like, this is so messed up. You have to drop your jaws, and it's like you got golf balls in your jaws. It's total different armature. I could never get used to the armature of a woodwind, a reed instrument. They say, "Yep, we always had to prep our reeds before playing." Right. And if that reed was dry and you didn't prep it, oh baby. Now, as far as trumpet is concerned, we had to, you have to buzz and practice to get your armature, get your lips ready, because the vibration from the mouthpiece and buzzing, if you don't, you know, do your warm-ups, you can split your lip. And I'm here to tell you, when you split your lip, it is not fun. I did it at a performance once, and my lip bled, which seemed like forever. It took about 2 weeks for the split in my lip to heal. And Carmax on a split lip is terrible. So you definitely have to warm up, when you play a brass instrument, to keep from splitting your lip. You got to make sure that you keep the muscles tight, or else you can blow the tendons that are in the cheeks, and you end up like Dizzy Gillespie. He did, he broke muscles in his face. That's how that happened. Said, imagine trying to play the bagpipes when you got prime the bags for like 2 minutes. Listen, it takes some talent to play the bagpipes, because if you don't know what you're doing, you sound god awful. Much respect to anybody that can play the bagpipes, because the bagpipes can be horrendous. Oh, thank you. Those muscles still look tight. Oh man. I don't know if they I know they probably still have it, but like I want to say like one of the local newspapers here, the Michigan Chronicles, they have pictures of me playing at the Thanksgiving parade tryouts, which is like the second largest Thanksgiving parade in the United States of America, next to the Macy's parade in New York. And y'all, of course you would know it's me, because here I am playing, and here's my nails. Oh man. Why, thank you, Zen. That's very sweet of you. Oh man, so Charm said, damn, I didn't know all of that can happen while playing those instruments. Oh yeah, especially if you're playing in the cold and you don't, because you still got to warm your instrument up, because like with the trumpet, you got a spit valve. And if you don't keep that instrument warm, it can freeze. And listen, if you have a child that is learning to play an instrument, especially if they want to learn to play brass, like if it's trombone or trumpet especially, please tell them to empty the spit valve before they start playing, because the last thing you want to do is get washback if you're playing and especially like you're in marching band, you go, oh God, you don't. It's the most disrespectful thing that can happen to you. Clear your spit valve, please. Please, please, please. And don't do anything that I used to do, like eating while you play, because the sugar can get in the valves, and then the valves get sticky, and you can get mites in the valves, and you got to take the trumpet apart, wash all the valves, wash all the sponges in the valves, and all of that. Yeah, I used to be at parade rest with snacks in my pocket. We'd be in the middle of a parade, and I have a bag of chips in my pocket, or candy or something in my pocket. All stuff you ain't got no business doing. You said, what's my station head? My station head is Miss Angel. The Oracle is MZ. Matter of fact, let me show it to you. Okay, hopefully y'all can see that. I'm hoping that that can focus. Let me know if y'all can see that. Can one of my mods put this in the chat for me so that they can see it in the comments? Yes, you don't disrespect your whole life. Please empty your spit valve. It's very, very sad and disrespectful, and you don't have anybody to blame but yourself. Oh, man. But like, as far as like when it comes to my instrument, like one of my favorite genres to play is like, I want to say the Latin jazz infusion. Like I love like the Tijuana Brass, Tito Fuentes, and like Celia Cruz. Like I play big band music. So any of that Cuban inspired Latin infusion jazz, I love it. Night in Tunisia, stuff like that. Like, yeah. So I'm somebody that I don't care what the genre is it good? That's why I love listening to Nipsey Hussle, because Nipsey Hussle, when you listen to that thank you, Dame Clark. If all of you look down in the comments, that's the name of my station head channel, Miss Angel the Oracle. So if you listen to Nipsey's Victory Lap album, what I love about that project is the whole entire thing sounds like a score. If you take his performance off of it, all of the music produced sounds like something that you can hear in a movie or television. It all sounds like a score. But the reason why Nip's music sound like that is because he actually went and studied under someone who played for a symphony orchestra. That's how he learned to compose music the way he did, and he developed his ear. He learned from an actual classically trained musician. Yeah, when you listen to the Victory Lap album, listen to the instrumentation and the way that he arranged that music, because he produced the majority of that album. Nipsey was amazing. Said R. Kelly got the best music. I will say R. Kelly is one of the best singers to come out of the R&B genre. And if he didn't have that mindset and that sickness that he has going on, he would have been unstoppable as the king of R&B. Nobody that is out right now had the vocal dexterity that R. Kelly had. And the reason why his vocals were like that is because he was trained to sing in church. The black church, up until the 90s, was one of the best places you could learn to sing, because they trained you to the point to where you could listen to the person next to you and y'all could mimic each other's voices. You literally could hear something and sing it back exactly the way you hear it. And they taught you to sing from the diaphragm. So you were literally taught to sing where you project and you use the acoustics of the room. That type of stuff is not taught anymore. Aretha Franklin, Patti LaBelle, like all of them started in church. Faith Evans, church. Jodeci, church. Fantasia, church. You name it. R&B powerhouses, they came out of the black church. Says, yeah, so some artists are nasally when they sing, and sometimes it sounds all right. Well, they definitely weren't trained, because if you learned in the black church, or you learned in the 90s in the public school system before they stole the last of the budget, you learned to sing from the diaphragm. And when you sing from the diaphragm and you learn circular breathing, you can hold notes for extended measures without taking a breath because you learn circular breathing. Right, Whitney Houston, black church. She came out of the church. Her mother, you know, Sissy, and her actual mother, all church. Yes, especially the Kojic. Absolutely. Kojic choirs could not be beat. And you, come on, Cash, you better come through for the win. Maddie Moss Clark. If y'all don't know who Maddie Moss Clark is, the Clark sisters, one of the best all-time selling and most prolific female gospel groups of all time. Maddie Moss Clark was their mother, God rest her soul. She had a doctorate in music. And when I tell you, every artist that is a major artist all the way up to Beyonce, all were inspired by the Clark sisters. If you are from Detroit and you were born in the 80s, the 70s and the 80s, and you don't know You Brought the Sunshine and Is My Living in Vain, I don't know you, because from Detroit, you could be in a strip club and start one of those songs and somebody gonna join in and you're gonna find out everybody in the room that can sing because those were staples here in this city. And you gotta remember, for those of y'all who know the Clark sisters got in trouble because Twinkie was playing around with music because she was inspired by none other than Stevie Wonder. So when she did You Brought the Sunshine, it was extremely controversial because the bass line and how she built that song was built off of music that she heard from Stevie Wonder. And it also had that vibe of, that Studio 54. So just imagine, y'all, back then in that time, they made gospel music that was actually playing in nightclubs. You said, I remember Escape song. Baby, that ain't Escape song. That's the Clark Sisters song. Escape did a cover of the Clark Sisters song, and their version is nowhere close to as good. Nowhere close. When you get a chance, The Journey, go on YouTube and look up Escape Sings with Karen Clark Sheard in Detroit. Karen came out and literally played around with the song, did a couple runs, and sang the whole group off the stage. And Karen was in her 60s. That Maddie Moss Clark training is unmatched. Unmatched. That their voices right now are still strong. They sing just as good now as they did when they first came into the industry. Yeah, so Mahalia Jackson, LaShawn Price, and the Pace sisters too. That church training was James Brown out the church, Tina Turner out the church. Y'all, the black church was epic when it came to training people how to sing. I don't know about now. A couple of these folks need to go on down to the pulpit and get hit with a Bible so some notes can fall upon them. So, are you familiar with any Australian artist? Not as much as I should be. You got any good ones? I'll look them up. Say, Angel, I heard they're trying to reopen Kathy White's case. Is that true? I heard they are doing they have not are doing, allegedly, they have done another autopsy on her, and allegedly it looks like she struggled. Allegedly. Said Maddie traveled the U.S. to train each district choir in the Kojic church. Amen. Yes, she did. And she had a doctorate in music. She was the music director of the National Kojic Choir. Okay? Love, get your silly ass out of here. Your man is cheating with me. I don't even have a man. And I guarantee you, if I had one, you couldn't do nothing with him but disappoint him. Let's send you back to the street. Yeah, I told y'all that's why I said those sisters, they're being investigated right now. Now is the right time for them to prepare themselves to get on up out of Dodge. If they play their cards right, this is their saving grace. Run, y'all. I can't, matter of fact, let me do my last tap in here so we can go on over to station head. Because, y'all, for those of y'all who don't know the difference, like, because I know some of y'all are younger, so you may not know the difference between, the Clark Sisters version and Escape version. When we get on station head, I'm going to let y'all hear both. I want y'all to know where they got it from. Like, my mother, you know, would take me with her because she was in the Kojic choir. Not the same church, but, her choir also, like Cass says, shout out to Cass, was trained by Maddie Moss Clark. So, as a toddler, I would be at all of those choir rehearsals. And instead of my mama, getting me a babysitter, she would get me some crayons and a coloring book, and I would go to choir rehearsal. So I learned, all the way through. And when I tell y'all Maddie Moss Clark was nothing to play with, if you didn't take it serious and you didn't get those notes right, her ears were so keen, she knew exactly who hit the wrong note, where they're standing, and she was going to find you and correct you personally. Oh, I like NXS. I didn't know they were from Australia. I Need You Tonight was one of my songs. That bass line was kicking. That doom 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 doom. I told you, I listen to some of everything. Like, that's still one of my songs. It's unfortunate what happened to the lead singer for sure. Said my parents are Nigerian and they had their records, the Pointer Sisters, Michael McDonald. Come on now. Said the Lifetime doc on the Clark sisters was good. Baby, listen, those Clark sisters, their mother, Maddie Moss Clark, to this day was, yes, I didn't even want to say it. Yes, she would throw that slipper and knock you out in the middle of choir rehearsal. She was known for throwing shoes at people. She did not play, but you were gonna get that music right. I'm so serious. You was not gonna play with her. You were gonna get that music right. Say, yeah, they're pretty good, and those lyrics are great. Yeah, I liked NXS. Say, okay, Maddie, the dark lady was on the Steve Harvey show. No, Maddie passed away a while ago. She wasn't on Steve Harvey. She passed away a while ago. I guarantee you this though, if Maddie Moss Clark was still alive, Twinkie Clark would have never in a million years let Beyonce get that sample for Church Girl. That would have never happened. Maddie don't she did not play with playing around with secular music. They she would have never got that sample. I promise you. Said we all needed that discipline back in, but it's not fine to being slapped upside the head. Said there's definitely a huge difference between the Escape version and their version. I just remember hearing it on their album back in the day. Um, Y'all, if I was at a family get together right now, I guarantee you right now, if I start Is My Living in Vain, I could be sitting right here. Somebody gonna come from upstairs, somebody's gonna come from the basement, somebody's gonna come from outside and all join in and sing. Their influence is still that powerful. I don't care if you are outside the liquor store and all the little crackheads are out there. I guarantee you one of those little crackheads is about to sing with you if it's a Clark Sister song, because that I know a lot of gangsters that used to ride around listening to the Clark Sisters, believe it or not. So Jimmy Barnes from Cold Chisel has performed with Tina Turner. If you didn't know already, okay. Well, Tina definitely was big on working with artists that had global appeal. So I heard Etta James was passed on Jolene playing her in Cadillac Records. Oh, she hated her depiction of her, especially singing her music. But I can understand why, because the vocals are so different between the two. It's not that, what Bay did was bad, but it was nowhere close to the grit and the emotion that Etta James sang with. You could tell that Etta had been through some things. Like that. Oh, what's that song? I'd Rather Go Blind? Oh my God. Said Tina is amazing. Yeah. Said, did you see her in the Mad Max movie? Absolutely. And just to think, I want to say around the time she did that movie, she was about, I want to say 43, 42, 43. So she did what was considered the unthinkable when she launched her solo career in her 40s. Everybody thought she was too old. And she proved them wrong. Yeah. You know what? Those old school singers did not play with you messing with their music. Y'all, listen. Look up Shaka Khan and her cussing out Mary J. Blige. Y'all, Shaka Khan literally told Mary J. Blige that she fucked up her song. She asked her, she said, what time did you go into the studio? She said, well, first thing in the morning. She said that's exactly what was wrong with it. It was too damn early. You hadn't warmed up your voice. You was flat as hell through the whole song. I said, damn, Shaka. They asked her about it on the radio. She said, yeah, hell yeah. I told her she fucked up my song. Could you imagine getting a phone call from Shaka and this is what she's saying to you? But Prince felt the same way about Genuine redoing When Doves Cry. He hated it. Said, yeah, she aged well, especially since she put up with Ike. So why would they even set Mary up like that? Listen, somebody wanted a good Kiki. That's why. Because Shaka pulled no punches. But she loved Whitney, and she definitely loved what Whitney did with I'm Every Woman. Y'all, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and shut it down over here. Let's get over here to Station Head. Everybody meet me in Station Head. Because I'm ready to have some grown folks conversation. I'm ready. Here's some stuff I want to say that I can't say on YouTube. Because YouTube does not allow me to use certain language or touch on certain subjects. Y'all, I just thought about it. We made it through a whole live without them chopping my live and trying to, freeze me. I didn't freeze one time on this live. It's been a long time since we had a live and it didn't freeze and get interrupted. Oh my God. We growing up, y'all. Oh my goodness. We're about to go over to Station Head. Once again, my station head is Miss Angel, the Oracle. Miss is spelled M-Z. So thank you so much to everybody that's here with me this evening. I'm here on Wednesday, every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. Every Wednesday, meet me here at 7. And I'll see y'all soon. Love y'all. Many blessings to everybody. Let's get into some shenanigans over here on Station Head. Mwah. Love y'all. Everybody be blessed and stay safe. Talk to y'all soon. See y'all next Wednesday. And unless, somebody really major gets in trouble in Hollywood, which is probably going to happen by tomorrow. You never know. Everybody is in trouble anyway. But either way, I'll see you every Wednesday at 7 p.m. I love y'all. Be good to yourself and others. See you next week. Bye-bye, y'all.